Down inside of, Tiger territory. They'll spot this one at the Sicily Island 26-yard line.
What a really good job by Hunter Herring that time on that pass, as he had plenty of time, and he looked down the field and looked like he was going to go to Eckstein on the flag. It was a long, slow developing play, and he was able to look off the defender and then come back to Wiley underneath with a perfectly thrown ball. Good run by Wiley after the catch.
Gain of 33 yards on the play and enough for a community pharmacy first down. This time, this pass is going to be knocked up in the air. It's going to be intercepted by Sicily Island. Second play of the game is going to result in an interception.
Yeah, just trying to go on a little slant route underneath, and the defender just got his hand up in the air and knocked the ball up and actually hit a couple of guys before Sicily Island defender was able to corral it. And interestingly enough, the last time that we were at Sicily Island 2 years ago, the very first play of the ball game for the Eagles was an interception on deflection. So a little bit eerily similar to what we experienced the last time we were over here.
First down and 10 for the Tigers at the 32-yard line. 32. The Tigers come to the line. Number 2, Keontae Dunbar in the shotgun. He's going to take this one. He's going to turn, pitches this one out to his running back. That's number 21, Javelin Robinson. Robinson is going to be strung out, and probably a loss of 3 yards on the play. Good job that time on the edge by the Eagle defenders.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Real good job by the Eagles. They just tried to run a little quick sweep to the right side. They just tossed the ball out to the running back, and great job by the interior guys of stringing it outside. Then Eli Eckstein came up and tackled him for a couple-yard loss on the play.
10 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. No score here in Sicily Island. Dunbar in the shotgun. Again, this time, no, actually it was going to be number 5, Claven Dunbar. Dunbar's going to pitch it out to Keontae Dunbar, and they're going to call it, they're going to call it an incomplete pass. Maybe it was a push pass or shuffle pass, but either way, it's going to be an incomplete pass, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 14 for the Tigers at their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that. It's hard to tell. We're at a little difficult angle to the time. That looked like he pitched that thing backwards. It was the same play. They ran the play before. They just ran it to the left side this time. It was a really poor pitch by the quarterback, and as a result, the running back could not really corral the ball and for what would have been a big loss. But as you mentioned, they called it incomplete pass, and we're at 3rd and long.
3rd down and 14 for Sicily Island at their own 29. Keontae Dunbar in the shotgun. Gets a good snap from center. He looks to throw. He's feeling some pressure immediately. Now he sets his feet. He's going to let it go. Field, but it's going to be incomplete. As that time looking for number 1, and unfortunately number 1 not on our roster here at Sicily Island, but the ball is going to be incomplete, and it's going to bring up 4th down for Sicily Island on their initial possession. They're going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, real good job by the quarterback, Keontae Dunbar, that time of escaping the pressure as Cade Woods came to the blitz from the outside. Dunbar able to just kind of spin around it and buy himself some time, and had he made a good throw, the receiver had a chance as he was behind our defender, and Dunbar, who has a long arm, overthrew the receiver.
Well, the Tigers are going to punt this football. They get a high snap. They get a little pressure on it. Handling the punting chores is number 56, Xavier Ramirez. Ramirez gets a decent punt off, but that's going to travel out of bounds at the Eagle 45-yard line is where they spot this ball ready for play. So the Eagles start their 2nd series of the game tonight at their own 45-yard line. The punt covered 26 yards, no return. The first possession ending in an intercepted pass. No score here in Sicily Island. 10 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Eagles come over in gold pants with green trim, white jerseys, green numbers, and of course the traditional Ouachita Christian gold helmet. Herring in the shotgun. 4 receivers to his left. Looks to throw to one of them, and it's almost intercepted. Number 1 with a great break on the ball that time. Saw it looked like he was looking for, it looked Duke out the flat. A good break on the ball. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I mentioned on the first pass that Herring threw, they did a great job with his eyes. He did not do a good job with his eyes that time as he stared Dugan down, and as a result, the defender who was covering Will Fitzhugh on the 2nd level just broke off Fitzhugh and almost picked that thing off for a touchdown. Herring, luckily, that that he's not able to get to it.
Second down and 10 for the Eagles. Herring, good snap from center, rolls to his left, looking downfield. Got a man, that's complete. Finds Fitzhugh on the far side of the field. Will's going to slip a couple of Tiger defenders before he's hemmed up, and it's going to be more than enough for another community pharmacy first down as they spot this ball at the Tiger 40-yard line. It's going to be a gain of, gain of 15 yards on the play.
Yeah, the Eagles coming to this ball game, Herring did only completing about 40% of his passes, so it's obvious that Coach Drew Badrine wants to try to get this passing game going, and that's all they've done so far tonight, 4 straight throws.
Herring in the gun, empty backfield, going to have to throw this one if he doesn't run it himself. Now he's feeling some Tiger pressure. He's going to be sacked. Big sack on the play, too. Going to be a loss of maybe 5 or 6 yards. Wait for Donnie with the numbers. It's actually going to be 6. So, Saul, we're going to be looking at big third down here. Second and 16 for the Eagles as they put this one at the Tiger 46-yard line.
And the Tigers come with an extra defender. That time they rushed 5 and did a good job of running some kind of stun up front. The Eagles not able to block it, and Herring really nowhere to go with the football, no time to get away. He tried to spin out of it, but Sicily out able to sack him for the loss.
Second down, 16 for the Eagles. Good snap. Herring looks to throw, puts a lot of air under this ball. Oh, it's going to be off the outstretched hand of Will Fitzhugh. Just a little too much on it, Saul. Well thrown, but just a little too much for Will to corral.
That's right. It was close, but he just led him a little bit too far to the inside, and just needed a little bit more air in it and a little bit further to the sideline, and Will would have had a touchdown.
Third down and 16 for the Eagles. 9 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Eagles' second possession of the game. Herring in the gun. Good snap from center. Rolls to his right. He's looking downfield. He's going to throw this one, and it's not going to be anywhere near his intended receiver. Saw it looked like he was looking for Wiley on that one and just didn't get it to him. Hit the ground about 3 feet in front of him. That's going to bring up fourth down. And it looks like the Eagles may be going for it here on 4th and 16.
Yeah, I think, Sicily Island maybe feel like the Eagles are giving them a gift here as the Eagles come into the ball game, averaging 250 yards rushing per ball game, rushed for over 400 yards last week and hadn't run the ball yet. It's been nothing but passes the whole time, and as a result, Eagles a few incompletions, and they're looking at 4th and long.
4th down and 16. Herring in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Going to take a straight drop this time. Puts air under this one. Got a man and just simply overthrows a wide open receiver that time. Number 9, Cade Woods, had a step on his defender and just couldn't get it to him in the open space.
Yeah, that was one that probably could have just put it on him right there. He put a little air under it, and Cade just not able to get to it. And really I believe that was seams that they run, where they send 2 guys up the hash to try to put that free safety in a bind, and that's one you just want to throw on a line right there and get it to Cade Woods, and he could have still been running for a touchdown. So not a real good series that time for Herring, as I'm sure they'll try to settle him down and maybe time to do a little running and get that run game going and get Herring a little bit of confidence before we can open up the passing game.
Eagles turn it over on downs. And now we're going to have a penalty, and it's going to go against the Tigers. Looks like it's going to be a delay of game against Sicily Island, so they'll penalize them 5 yards on the play.
I think it may have been a legal substitution there, David. It looked like he kind of held his arm across his chest right there. And anyway, because I don't think the play clock could run down if they even have a play clock.
They're going to lose 5 yards in any event, and I think you're right. I think it is going to be an illegal participation penalty as the Tigers start this drive, 1st and 15, ball at their own 41-yard line. Good snap from center. They're going to turn, hands this one off to Landre James. James is going to find some tough sledding, but he picks up going to be 4 yards on the play. He's going to bring up 2nd down and 6 for Sicily Island.
Yeah, nice play by Hogan on the sideline over there, and that linebacker is leading the Eagles in tackles this year so far. That'll be his 26th total tackle on the year, and to answer my own question, they do have a play clock here. They're in the very corners of. We can't see the one on one end because they were blocked by the press box wall, but on the other end, I do see one, and so they do in Sicily out in Louisiana. They do have a play clock.
They got 2 of them actually. 8 minutes and 14 seconds, no score here in Sicily Island. Landre James takes the snap. Going to keep it himself. Actually, that's Dunbar on the carry. Dunbar keeps it himself. He's going to pick up 1 yard. It's going to bring up, let's call it 3rd down and 9 for the Tigers as they spot this football at the Sicily Island 46-yard line.
Yeah, just nothing there for Sicily Island right now. This Eagle defensive front is obviously a big mismatch for Sicily Island in terms of speed and technique and just really nothing. They've been able to get no positive yards on any run that they've made so far in these first two series.
Tigers with a big third down play of their own, 3rd and 10. Dunbar looking downfield. He's got a man, and it's going to be complete. Found number 11, Austin Polk. Polk drags it or hauls it in solid, picks up 6 yards, but it's going to bring up a big 4th down here. And I'm going to gamble the Tigers are going to go for it here on 4th and 4.
Yeah, and Polk had something right there. Real good job by Dunbar. He had a lot of pressure, and he actually throws the ball back, rolling to the right, throws it back to the middle of the field where his receiver was, and the receiver really didn't need to go to the ground. He just kind of lost his footing and fell down and could have gotten the first down easily if he could have kept his feet.
4th down and 4 for Sicily Island, their second possession of the night. 6 minutes and 44 seconds left to play in the first quarter. No score here in Sicily Island. There's going to be a bad snap on the play. James is going to have to try and scoop it up, and he is going to get sacked. Big play that time by the Eagle defense. Going to be a loss of 6 yards on the play, and the Eagles are going to take over on downs. Saul, it's almost like the ball never moved from the last time the Eagles had it.
And it's really puzzling that Sicily Island went for that on 4th down, as they've really been able to do nothing. I think that just shows they just don't have much confidence in their punting game either. As the first time they punted, it was almost blocked, and then he barely got it off, and had it not had a fortunate roll, it probably would have been for negative yardage.
Herring in the shotgun, turns, hands this one to Dugan. First running play of the night for the Eagles, and Dugan's going to find, he's going to find a soft spot in that Tiger defense, and it looks like he'll pick up 5 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Eagles.
Yeah, real good hard running that time by Dugan, as he just kept his feet churning as they actually hit him at about a yard or two past the line of scrimmage, and he just kept his feet going and spinning and was able to pick up a nice gain.
Herring in the shotgun. Dugan again with him in the backfield. 4 receivers. Quick fade inside, almost intercepted as that time saw it looked like he tried to force it in to Eckstein, and ball got tipped and just off the hands of a Sicily Island defender, and that's going to bring up a big 3rd down and 5 play here for the Eagles.
Yeah, real good coverage that time by Sicily Island. I'm not sure if that was an RPO, as it looked like Herring pulled the ball and then made a read maybe on the linebacker and threw to the outside, and looked like they were in a 2-deep coverage, and the cornerback with a nice job on Eli Eckstein with the coverage and really made a nice play on the ball when Herring went on the throw from Herring.
5 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The first quarter of Ouachita Christian football is sponsored in part by American National, Darren Dugan Agency for home, auto, life, and business insurance needs. Call Darren Dugan at 318-807-2100. That's 318-807-2100. And that's American National, the Darren Dugan Agency. Proud sponsors of tonight's first quarter in Ouachita Christian Eagle football. 2nd down, actually 3rd down now, and 5 for the Eagles. Herring in the gun, sends a man in motion, turns. He's going to hand this one to Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh's going to find a soft spot. He's going to go across the 30, across the 40, still on his feet, down inside the 20-yard line, right at the 20, before the Tigers pull him in. Big play that time, and nice play, but a penalty marker looks like it's been thrown on the field. So.
Yeah, he's already signaled holding against the Eagles. As you mentioned, finally get Fitzhugh involved there and give him the ball on the ground. It makes a nice run around the right side, and unfortunately, the Eagles going to get called for holding, which will negate that 1st down and bring them back.
Well, the Eagles were looking at 3rd and 5 before that play. Depending on where they mark this one off from, holding a spot foul, and it is. It's going to cost the Eagles it's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles at the Tiger 45-yard line. Going to have to dial something up here. Fitzhugh is in the backfield, joining Bub Mathern in an offset eye beside Herring in the gun. Mathern in motion. Good snap from center. Herring with some time. Going to have to step up in the pocket and does. Now he's looking downfield. Makes one Tiger defender miss, but saw he's going to be short of the 1st down, probably about 3 yards short, as it looked like he picked up about 7 on the play and did. That's going to bring up another 4th down for the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles just not able to pick those blitzing linebackers up for Sicily. They're not sending a lot of guys, just sending maybe one extra linebacker. And the Eagles with some confusion up front, and Herring with a good job of being able to avoid some pressure and get upfield to get a little close to first down, makes it a much easier fourth down play by picking up those few extra yards.
It's like a timeout may have taken by the Eagles. Let's go down to the field, check in with Coach Sonny Vadrine with a Marion State Bank sideline report. Coach, got to get it going here somehow.
Yeah, they trying to work on the passing game some because it's been kind of short for us, but they really want to work on it some. But they're going to have to get some first downs running the ball. And one of the problems they have in picking up the blitz is they can't see it because it's awful dark down here. The lights are not very bright, and it's one of the dim littest fields I've been into a long time, guys. But we got to get something going here and get a couple first downs and take control of this game.
Coach, where are you? I can't see you.
I know.
Where you at? Oh, there you are.
There is a press box over there, ain't it? All right, guys.
Thanks a lot, Coach Sonny Vadrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report.
How do you think Coach would respond to one of his players? They came to the sideline and said, "Coach, I just can't see him."
It's too dark, Coach.
I have a feeling there wouldn't be much patience from Coach Vadrine
I got
for
a
that
feeling
excuse.
Yeah, there'd be some retribution. 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles. Herring's going to turn, hands this one off to Eckstein. Eckstein's going to pick up the first down and some more. Now he cuts it back to the middle of the field. He's down to the 10, close to the 5 before he's hemmed up and dropped, but that's going to be more than enough for another community pharmacy first down, and that is going to put the Eagles into Randall's Fine Meat red zone.
Boy, and a real nice run by Eckstein that time. A great job by the offensive line up front as they really opened up a nice hole that allowed him to pick the first down easily, but then it was all Eckstein after that as he makes a nice cut up field and looked like he might be going to score for a second, but gets it inside the red zone.
Gain of 30 on the play. Turns, hands this one again to Eckstein. Eckstein with a little push, gained 5. And that's going to put it, let's call it 2nd down and goal at the 5-yard line.
And one of those goal line situations like you talk about where they're right at the 10-yard line, so the only thing they can do is score, can't pick up a first down. But nice job by Eckstein there on two good runs to get them down here on the 5-yard line.
2nd and goal at the 5. Herring in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Turns, hands this one to Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh makes one man miss at the goal line. Touchdown, Eagles. Number 22, Will Fitzhugh, taking it in from 5 yards out, and that is going to give the Ouachita Christian Eagles a lead, 6-0.
And you really almost got the sense the Eagles could have done this easily the first two drives. They just were kind of, as we mentioned, just trying to work on the passing game, see if they can shore it up a little bit, and it just didn't work so well at first. I think they can come back to that, but right now I think you got to go ahead and establish the run because Sicily Island's not going to be able to stop it, and then you can work on it later.
Number 1, Sam Harrell on to attempt the extra point. That Ouachita Christian touchdown brought to you by the folks at Trinity Diamonds Direct. For all your diamond needs, visit our store on Blanchard Street in West Monroe. Trinity Diamonds Direct. Good snap and a good hole. And that's going to be tough to call from here, but that's going to be no good. Saw it looked like Sam kind of missed that one a little bit as it slid sideways on him. And as Coach mentioned in the broadcast earlier, boy, it's a nice little bonus on the goalpost there as they are kind of flayed and flared out a little bit.
And you talk about the field being dim when they kick it into the end zone too, and you can't see anything. There's no light in the end zones, and as there's just fields to one side and trees to the other where there's no light from the town to even guide us to where the ball might be. So we couldn't tell if it went through or not, but the referees say it didn't.
Well, 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Ouachita Christian leads Sicily Island 6-0. Good crowd from Monroe making the trip over tonight to support their Ouachita Christian Eagles. All the visitor stands on the far side of the field really look full tonight. A lot of folks making the drive to support this Eagle team. Christopher Holyfield, Saul, going to handle the kicking chores on this one. Going back and forth between Sam Harrell and Christopher handling the kicking chores. Christopher been doing it a while, been doing it at a pretty high level. Christopher tees it up at the 40-yard line. Kicking from left to right on your radio dial. Nice kick this time. Travels end over end, and I say a nice kick. Actually saw it went over the fence here so far out of bounds, so the Eagles are going to be penalized, and it looks like the Tigers will probably take over 1st and 10 at their own 35.
You know what, I tell you, he took a nice run at that one, too. He got back about 15 yards, it looked like, and he was running at a full head of steam when he hit it and just just kind of nicked it off the side of his toe and almost a shank to the side. And as you mentioned, went over
good height, nice end over end kick. From our vantage point, I couldn't tell that it was going to actually.
It went right over Coach Vadreen's head, and as you mentioned, cleared that first fence on the sideline there.
Well, it's going to be 1st down and 10 for Sicily Island. Eagles lead this game 6-0. Following the out-of-bounds play, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 35-yard line. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Eagles lead 6-0, and we're still waiting for the officials.
There's no ball. They can't get a ball from Sicily Island.
Well, maybe theirs is still over the fence over there by Coach. Let's go down and catch up with Coach Sonny Vadreen with the Marion State Bank. Coach, you got their ball over there?
No, somehow they using our ball or they got a ball lost. I'm not sure what's going on, but I tell you what you fixing to look at, guys. Watch it. They fixing to run the Notre Dame box right here on this series of offense.
All right.
So y'all kind of watch it if you can see what's happening.
All right, Coach. Coach bringing up the Notre Dame box, and Sicily Island saw it. Takes me back, and I know it takes you back as well because both of us haven't had a chance to come over here and play in Sicily Island, or actually maybe they played at our place, but I've seen the box. And that is exactly, as Coach said, what they're going to run, the Notre Dame box. And now they're going to throw out of it. This ball is just going to be thrown way up in the air, fielded like a punt by Will Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh's across the 50, across the 40 before he's dropped and run out of bounds by number 21 for the Tigers. But a nice interception that time by Fitzhugh is, well, you don't see a lot of people throw out of the box, Saul, but that time the Tigers did, and it didn't pay dividends, as Will's going to pick it up at about the 40 and return it 19 yards. And the Eagles will set up shop following the turnover, 1st down and 10 at the Tiger 38-yard line.
And I don't believe the Sicily Island receiver was ever aware that the ball was even thrown, as he looked like he didn't even know there was a ball in the air. And Will Fitzhugh saw it the whole time and came over and made a nice interception and a good return to get the Eagles set up in nice field position in Sicily Island territory.
Herring in the shotgun. Dugan joins him with him in the gun. Herring takes the steps back, throws this football across his formation. It's complete that time to number 10, Barham White. White's going to make a positive yardage after the catch. So not much of a throw that time, just a quick shot across the middle. But Barham's going to pick up good yardage, more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down, a gain of 17 yards on the play. And that's going to put the Eagles in the Randall's Fine Meat red zone.
Yeah, good play called by Drew Vadreen that time as he just a little drag route by Barham White from his tight end position. Nice, easy throw for Hunter Herring as he put it right on the money.
Good snap from center. Herring turns, hands this one. That one's going to go to Dugan, and Dugan is going to pick up, let's give him 3 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 from the 18-yard line. 3 minutes and 33 seconds left to play in the first quarter. No score here at Sicily Island. Herring drops back into the shotgun. 2 receivers split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Good snap from center. Herring sets his feet, throws. That one's going to be complete to Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh's going to make one Tiger defender miss, but he's going to get upended by another one. It'd be tough to see where they spotted. So these yardage mark lines are pretty tough to pick up from here, but he's going to pick up 11 yards, more than enough for a community pharmacy 1st down. And that, again, Saul, is going to be unfortunate for the Eagles because it's going to put them 1st and goal, it looks like, at the 10-yard line.
He had another real easy throw for Coach Vadreen. Calls for Hunter Herring is Will Fitzhugh with a great route that time. He runs this little whip route where he comes inside, acts like he's going to run a slant, then he plants his foot and comes back outside and just left the defender on the inside. And Herring puts it right on the money, and Fitzhugh gets it inside the 10-yard line, as you mentioned.
That's going to be, it looks like, well, maybe the 8. Should be 1st and goal for the Eagles at the Tiger 8. 3 minutes and 11 seconds left to play here in the first quarter.
And a big difference on the last 2 routes. The offensive line has made maybe some adjustments there, and they've given Hunter Herring some time to stand back there and deliver an accurate throw, which he's done on those last 2 throws. And the Eagles, with a couple of guys that can run with the ball after the catch, actually a lot of guys that can do that. And you saw Barham White do it on the first play from scrimmage on this drive, and then you saw Will Fitzhugh do it on that last pass reception.
1st down and goal for the Eagles at the Tiger 8. Herring in the shotgun. 4 receivers split wide to his left. Pulls the ball down, looks left. Got a man, that's Fitzhugh. He's in for the touchdown. Touchdown is going to cover 8 yards, and that is another Trinity Diamonds Direct Ouachita Christian Eagle touchdown.
and another real good route by Will Fitchie that time as he runs. He was the inside guy on the slide, and he sort of faked like he was going on the post inside. This was a more vertical route than the one before, and then he plants his foot and comes to the outside, and Herring with a perfect throw. And once again, great protection to give him some time. He delivers it for the touchdown.
The Eagles are going to run the fake. They got a man open in the end zone. It looks like it's caught. Knowing if it is going to go in for the 2-point conversion and take the lead over the Tigers, 14-0. A little trickery by the Eagles. Let's go down to the sideline and catch up with Coach Sonny Vadrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Coach, a little trickery by the Eagles.
Yeah, that's the old Savage play. We run that many, many times in the past, but you fake the handoff and come around, throw the pass to the tight end. Great job. It's a good play right there. Get that extra point. And I tell you what, guys, we're looking pretty sharp. Hunter threw the ball really well on the last series of downs. Perfect throw to fit you in the end zone. And I tell you what, we're going to have some of that as the season goes along. We're going to be able to throw the ball, look sharp doing it. Great blocking by the interior line. The offensive line is doing a great job and just doing everything well right now. So we just got to keep doing it, and defense playing well, so you just got to keep it working.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Coach Sonny Vadrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report.
Savage play, and just to elaborate a little bit more, that was Will Fitzhugh who was on the wing, and he comes around the holder, pitches it to him, and Fitzhugh's the one who made the toss in the end zone. I actually wasn't able to see who caught the pass for the 2-point conversion, but a nice throw by Fitzhugh in the corner of the end zone. The Eagles get back that point that they missed on the extra point after the first touchdown to make this thing 14-0 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
We saw Christopher going to take another run at this one. He's got got about a 10-yard spread as he's going to charge this one. He gets his leg into it, and that is going to go right over the head of Coach Sonny Vadrine. And saw it's going to travel out again over the fence. Got a penalty marker on the play and a ball over there.
Yeah, I think they're going to get the Eagles for being offsides again. What happened to us last week, and then they're also going to call a penalty on the ball rolling out of bounds as well.
So I guess they'll probably add the 5 to the 35, maybe start at the 40, I guess. 14-0 in favor of the Ouachita Christian Eagles. 3 minutes left to play here in the first quarter.
Yeah, not sure how many times Holyfield's kicked off in these first 4 games of the season, but that's his 4th kick that's traveled out of bounds. And I don't know how many more chances they're going to give him if he keeps kicking it out of bounds. As that's not good. You can't be kicking the ball out of bounds and giving teams some extra yards. And now it looks like, in light of those penalties, Sicily is going to make them kick it again. And you heard Coach Fitzhugh talk about it at the beginning of the broadcast. It's a team that's brought some kickoffs back this year, and they really want to get the ball in the hands of their deep threats. And so they're going to make the Eagles kick this ball again.
They are going to be penalized 5 yards on the play, and it is an option, as you mentioned, Saul. You can take it at the 35 or make them re-kick it. So they'll back us up 5 for the offsides. And Christopher's going to take that 10-yard run at it again. Ball spotted at the 35. He'll line up at the 25-yard line for his approach. He gets his leg into it. Now, this is a nice kick. It's going to travel high, and it's going to hit at about the 10-yard line. Tigers are going to set up a return. Eagles are going to, well, the Eagles, first couple Eagles are going to miss. Now the Tigers with some running room. Coach Fitzhugh talked about it. So there's nobody that's going to catch him. That is going to the house. No flags on the field. Touchdown, Sicily Island. 90 yards on the return. Holyfield with the best kick of the night. And the Eagles are going to take that, or the Tigers are going to take that to the house.
And that was Clavin Dunbar, number 5 for Sicily Island. I believe he's the same one that returned the kickoff back against Vidalia a couple of weeks ago, and he was off the races right there. It looked like one Eagle had a chance to get him right at first. Then he hit that seam, and there was nobody even close to him. Looked like a Culp for the Eagles had an angle on him, but you saw that angle was eaten up pretty quick.
I was going to say, you saw
Dunbar.
that angle disappear. As Dunbar doing a great job of bringing the ball back.
That was Thomas Culp trying to catch him, but just no match for Dunbar's speed on that return.
Well, number 56 is going to come on for the extra point for the Tigers. That's Xavier Ramirez. Ramirez lines up straight on, old school, but the results are what you're looking for. I hadn't seen anybody kick one straight on like that in a while, Saul, but very effective as the Tigers get back into this football game, 14-7. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Eagles lead by a touchdown. And, you know, saw last year the Eagles seemed like they had a chance to continue to put that game away, but, you know, ended up being a 34-14 game and really not able to close the deal. And here you are with a 14-point lead, and you let them back in.
Yeah, you know, we didn't get to talk about the keys to the game beforehand, and actually one of my keys to the game was special teams and actually was talking about our own team. Let's get a kickoff or punt return, and been a long time since we'd had a kickoff return for a touchdown, actually 7 years, and wasn't really thinking about the other team taking one back, and unfortunately they do it to the Eagles and make this game a little bit tighter.
14-7, Will Fitzhugh's going to stand at his 10-yard line. Ramirez is going to handle the kicking chores for the Tigers again. Waiting on the referees to signal this one for play. They do have a football this time. And now they signal it for play. Ramirez tees it up at his 40-yard line. Fitzhugh stands at his 10. Actually drifted up to his 15. This is going to be a low kick, short kick, but fielded cleanly by Will at about the 20. He's across the 25, across the 30. Still moving, still churning his legs. He's across the 30, the 45 before he's dropped there. But a nice gain on the play. Number 22, Will Fitzhugh, with a good return, gain of 25 yards. So there's just nothing that guy can't do. I mean, just such a good football player.
Very good football player. And I mentioned last week, just about every time we play the game, in my opinion, he's the best football player on the field. And, you know, he may not be the fastest, he may not be the biggest, but in terms of just being a football player, you know, knowing what to do, knowing how to play the game, giving 100%, and then, of course, very, very talented and skilled. And he's just as good as they get.
Herring's going to turn. He hands this one to Dugan. Dugan with a nice, tough run that time. Saul has kept his legs churning, picked up 5 yards. A nice burst right there at the mesh point out of Dugan as he busted up inside. A tough run. He's going to pick up 5 yards on the play.
And I tell you, one of the most positive things I've seen tonight in this first quarter is the run into Dugan. I like how he's hitting the hole tonight. You know, I've been a little critical of him the first few weeks and in some of his runs. But tonight he really looks like he's got a little fire underneath him. He's hitting that hole hard.
2nd down and 5 for the Eagles. Ball at midfield. Again, turn, hands to Dugan. Dugan across the 50, across the 45. Another tough run, but that time Dugan picking up another 5 yards, and that's going to be more than enough for a community pharmacy first down.
Yeah, good open field tackle by Sicily Island, but that's okay. You know, guys are going to make tackles, but you just hit that hole and you get what you can get, and that's what Dugan's doing, and he picks up the first down.
1st down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the Tiger 45-yard line. 2 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Eagles lead 14-7. 2 Eagle touchdowns and a kickoff return for the Tigers. Herring in the shotgun, an eye backfield beside him. Turns, he looks to throw. Got receivers downfield, feels some pressure. Now he's going to pull it down and run it himself. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a little more. Donnie will give him, well, looks like we pick up maybe 2 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 as they spot this football at the Tiger 44-yard line.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good protection by the Eagles that time as Herring just couldn't find anybody open, and eventually, you know, a couple of those guys from Sicily Island were able to fall off the blocks, and Herring tries to get what he can and was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a half yard.
2nd down and 9 for the Eagles. Mathern in motion across the formation. Turns, hands this one to Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh churning his legs, moving the pile. Didn't pick up a first down, but he picked up 5 yards, and it's going to set up a much more manageable. So I'm probably going to be looking at now 3rd and 4 as they spot this football. Well, it's going to be 3rd and 5 at the Tiger 40-yard line. Clock continuing to run here in the first quarter. 50 seconds left to play in the quarter. Eagles lead 14-7. Hunter Herring in the shotgun. Fitzhugh joins him in the gun. Good snap, turns, hands this one to Will. Will finds a soft spot in that Tiger defense, and he's going to have more than enough for another community pharmacy first down.
Yeah, nice job by the Eagle offensive line that time as they're just sort of imposing their will on the Sicily Island defenders. It's pretty big up front tonight as they've actually put Casey Cobb, 215-pound sophomore, at left guard tonight, and then James David Miller is back at right guard as he was out last week with an injury. And those 2 guards, and along with Weatherford at center, is some pretty big guys.
Herring is going to throw this one. Going to be complete, and it looks like. I can't make out the number right now.
Cade Woods.
That's actually number 8, Cade Woods, on the reception, number 9.
Yeah, good job that time by Cade Woods of coming up with the catch and then holding on to the ball as he got hit right as he caught it, but just slipped him out in the flat on a play-action pass, and Hunter Herring puts it right on the money, and a very good play on first down. Eagles much more efficient on these last 2 drives than they were on those first couple of drives.
Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5 for the Eagles. Herring, again, keeps this one on the ground with Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh's going to make a couple of defenders miss. 2nd and 3rd effort out of Fitzhugh. Now he's just going to literally carry 4 or 5 Tigers. Still moving the pile down inside the Randall's Fine Meat red zone. They're going to spot this one, it looks like, at about the 11-yard line, but great effort that time out of the senior football player, Will Fitzhugh.
Boy, just a great cut. Again, the Eagle line opened up a nice hole for him. He gets to the second level, and then it looked like a Sicily Island defender was there to make the stop, and he just plants his right foot in the ground and cuts up the field and leaves that defender behind, and then carries about 3 or 4 down inside the 10-yard line.
And that is going to bring us to an end of the first quarter of play. Tonight's first quarter brought to you by the Darren Dugan Agency. American National. For all your home, auto, life, and business insurance needs, be sure to get in touch with Darren Dugan, 318-807-2100. That's 318-807-2100. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter of play. We'll take a quick break here and invite you to join us back here on 92.3 The Wolf. Thanks, man. I'd say probably a 30.
Can I get your phone to get some stats?
Yeah, man. Another 30. Yeah.
What's the
Yeah, man, we're okay.
what's the code?
Raymond Peace Stadium. The Ouachita Christian Eagles out in front of the Sicily Island Tigers, 14-7. The Eagles find themselves with the ball, first down and goal at the Tiger 9-yard line. Junior quarterback Hunter Herring in the shotgun. A good snap from center. Looks to throw this football, and he does. Actually be intended for number 9, Cade Woods, but it's going to be way out in front of him, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and goal for the Eagles at the Tiger 8-yard line.
Pretty dominant first quarter by the Eagles despite the 14-7 score. The Eagles' total offense in the first quarter, 177 yards. Sicily Island only 2 yards of total offense in the first quarter. The Eagles with 88 yards of rushing in the first quarter and 89 yards of passing in the first quarter.
Herring brings the Eagles to the line. 2nd down and goal at the Tiger 8. Going to send Eckstein in motion across the formation, and we're going to have whistles, and we're going to have penalty markers all over the field. It's going to be illegal motion against the Eagles. And that's going to cost them 5 yards.
The Eagles got a little bit sloppy here. Now they got inside the 10-yard line. The play before that, Herring had a chance to get the ball to Cade Woods in the flat, just overthrew him. And then as you mentioned, legal procedure here now, going to back the Eagles further back and just get a little bit sloppy when they had a chance to really take control of this ball game. 2nd down and goal for the Eagles at the Tiger 13. Herring in the shotgun. He's going to roll, looks downfield, puts a little touch on this one. That was really, not really sure where he was going with that one, but it's going to be well overthrown, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and goal for the Eagles at the 13. Yeah, that time he was rolling to his left and trying to hit Eckstein on a flag route, and it almost looks like Hunter's just sort of guiding the football right now instead of letting it go. And I think he's maybe thinking about some of those incompletions, and hard to play quarterback when you do that. You know, he's a good enough passer that just needs to let it go. Let's throw that football right on and put it right on Eckstein on the run, and he's not really doing that right now. 3rd
and 13. Good snap from center. Turns, hands this one to Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh's going to run into the teeth of the Tiger defense. It's going to be a minimal gain on the play. Don give 2, so you're going to be looking at 4th down, and now the Eagles are going to send on the field goal unit.
First field goal attempt of the year.
Yeah, it is. It looks like young Sam Harrell is going to be called on to do this one, and he does.
Tigers got to watch that ball. Eagles look like they're going to go for a field goal, but you never know.
I like this play too, David. You know that's something that the Eagles will have to be able to do in a close ball game. And of course, this is a close ball game at 14-7, so you got to get some points. And the Eagles got with a chance to put 3 on the board here.
28 yards out. Good snap. Harrell gets his leg into it. It looks good from here, but I can't tell. It is. Sam Harrell's going to put 3 points on the board for the Eagles. Saw that was a well-struck football. It actually traveled through the upright and over into somebody's driveway, and they're going to throw it back into the middle of the field. Pretty tight here in the confines of Tiger Stadium, but they do get it back onto the field. And I'll tell you, the reason I say that is it went through the uprights and over the fence. Harrell had plenty of leg on that one. Would have been good from a lot further out.
Of course, I lost sight of it. It's so dark in that end zone, but really encouraging for the Eagles to see Sam Harrell with that kick. Good snap, good hold on the field goal by number 2, Walker Morris. And you like that. Like to see the Eagles get 3 points on the board there at a critical time. Only ahead 7 points, and now they go up 10 points in here early in the second quarter. And again, something that the Eagles may need later on. It could come down to a field goal to win a ball game or two. And Sam Harrell puts it right through the middle.
It's come down to that before. A nice kick that time by Sam Harrell. 28 yards out. It's going to give the Eagles a lead, 17-7. 10 minutes and 54 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. The second quarter of Ouachita Christian Eagle football is sponsored by D&H Sporting Goods. Visit D&H Sporting Goods in Sterlington for all your Ouachita Christian Eagle gear.
You may have been wondering where I got this shirt, David.
Tell me.
D&H Sporting Goods.
It's a good-looking shirt. Actually, this kick is going to travel out of bounds. Not sure, Saul, if that was one of Christopher's or Sam's.
Sam Harrell that time. They would give Sam a chance to kick the ball in bounds, and he's not able to do it either. And if I'm Sicily Island, I may make him kick it again. But Donnie Haley's telling me that ball actually may have been tipped by Sicily Island before it went out of bounds. And if that's the case, then Sicily Island will take over where it went out.
And that is exactly what it looks like. The officials say it was tipped, and they're going to spot this football at about the 10-yard line. So before we throw Sam under the bus too far, Saul, actually it must have landed in bounds before it caromed out as let's see. They're going to spot this football at the 11-yard line. Worst starting field position for the Tigers so far tonight. First down and 10, ball at their own 11.
The offense trying to make something happen. David Rawson breaks a tackle, breaks another.
Actually on the carry for the Tigers that time, number 11, Austin Polk, and he does a good job of stringing out that Eagle defense, Saul. Probably one of the better running plays the Tigers have had so far tonight. A gain of 10 yards on the play, and enough for a first down for Sicily Island.
Yeah, that's definitely their best running play of the game, and so good job by the Eagles. Good job by Sicily Island of picking up a first down there deep in their own territory.
First down and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 20-yard line. Not really sure, Saul, who's going to be the formation. As it looks like we're going to have a variance of the box. They're going to, I guess, kind of maybe fake the high snap, throw their hands up, and try to run it up the middle. It didn't really work out that well.
They faked the high snap, and they got a bad snap on the ground that time as they had trouble picking it up. And fortunately for Sicily Island, they were able to get back on it as the Eagles could have had a big one inside Sicily Island 20-yard line.
Well, it's going to be a loss of 1 yard on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 11 for the Tigers, ball at their own 19. 9 minutes and 46 seconds left to play in the half. Eagles lead 17-7. Again, a low snap, and that one's going to be handled by number 7, Londre James. James is going to do a nice job of cutting it upfield, but he's going to be well short of the first down. And now we're going to have a late penalty thrown on the far side of the field. Definitely happened after the play. Waiting for an official ruling. That's going to be a sideline warning against the Eagles.
What a good job by the Sicily Island running back that time is Christopher Holyfield. Nobody touched him. He got in the backfield and almost had him tackled for about a 4 or 5 yard loss, and he was able to make Holyfield miss and get upfield and make something positive out of what looked to be a big loss.
3rd down and 5 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 25-yard line. Big play here for this Sicily Island team. Get back in this ball game. Several running backs in the backfield for the Tigers. It's going to be taken by the middle back. Tough to find a number on that. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Minimal gain on the play, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 5 for the Tigers at their own 25. And boy, I tell you, Saul, it's almost like you got to think they're going to punt the football here.
Yeah, if you don't punt it here, then you're never going to punt, because I mean, this is you might try a fake punt. It's a good place to do that deep in your own territories. Nobody'd be expecting it, but as we mentioned, it's the time to punt, and that's what Sicily Island's going to do, is go back and punt formation.
Number 56, Xavier Ramirez, on to punt the football. Deep for the Eagles, number 22, Will Fitzhugh, and number 15, Eli Eckstein. They stand at the Eagle 48-yard line. Good snap. The Eagles are going to set up a return. It's going to be a low line drive kick, very returnable. They're going to fake the reverse. Eckstein's got a seam. He's across the 40, across the 30, across the 20, the 10, the 5, in for the touchdown. Number 15, Eli Eckstein, taking it in for the score. The touchdown punt return is going to cover 53 yards. And again, another Trinity Diamonds direct touchdown for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Saw you were talking about an Eagle turning on a special teams touchdown. There you go.
Yeah, nice job by the Eagles that time. They couldn't have worked that any better in terms of the type of punt they got, which was a low punt that got to Eckstein quickly. He had no trouble feeling it, and he fakes the ball to Fitzhugh on a reverse, and they had a wall set up for him on the left side here, and he takes it down the sideline and goes in easily for a punt return touchdown.
Harrell comes on for the extra point attempt, and they're going to say it's no good. Not that we could tell from our vantage point if it was anyway, Saul, as that's going to be the second one Sam misses tonight, but he's got a field goal on the board, so, you know, all a bad night kicking.
So it's been 7 years since we had a kickoff return for a touchdown, but it's only been a little less than a year since the last time we took a punt return for a touchdown, as Will Fitzhugh did that the last time against Tensall on October the 19th of 2018. He takes back a punt, and Eli Eckstein gets one in his senior season against the Sicily Island.
8 minutes and 7 seconds left to play here in the half. Eagles lead 23-7 over the Sicily Island Tigers.
Sicily Island Tigers. I forgot their mascot for a second. And I don't know why, since there's a big tiger painting hanging right behind us in the press box.
Sam Harrell on to handle the kicking chores for the Eagles. Split it up. Christopher Holyfield with a tough time of it. But, you know, too, Saul, maybe they're trying to get Sam and Christopher to try and keep it away from the return guys. You start trying to ask these guys to kick directionally, and boy, that can be a challenge sometimes. Harrell tees it up at the 40-yard line. Tigers send 2 men deep. Harrell gets a nice low line drive kick, and that is going to travel out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. But boy, I tell you what, Saul, number 21 for the Tigers, that's actually Javelin Robinson. Just kind of nonchalantly acted like that was.
Yeah, it just barely rolled out of bounds. You're right. It could have easily just checked up there and not gone out of bounds, and that would have been bad news for Sicily Island. But, you know, one thing about Harrell, we saw him at the beginning of the year. He was so good at kicking those sky kicks and directionally as well, but just hadn't been very good at all. Neither has Christopher Holyfield in keeping this ball in play.
Well, the Tigers this time do not elect to back the Eagles up and kick again, as they'll take over first down and 10 at their own 35-yard line. 8 minutes and 7 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Second quarter brought to you tonight by the folks at D&H Sporting Goods, longtime sponsors and supporters of Ouachita Christian Athletics. Visit the D&H Sporting Goods location in Sterlington for all your Ouachita Christian Eagle gear. First down and 10, Sicily Island, ball at their own 35. Dunbar looks deep to throw, and that one is almost intercepted. Intended that time for number 1 for the Tigers, and looked like that was actually number 30 for the Eagles. Julian Stevenson trying to make a play on the ball, just unable to come up with it. And that's going to bring up second down and 10 for Sicily Island.
Yeah, the ball was thrown so high, and Julian was out there by himself to pick up the ball. Nobody even near him to stop him, and he kind of mistimed his jump. He really didn't even have to jump. He could have just waited for it like a punt, but he doesn't know anybody's behind him, so he's trying to get up and get the ball at its highest point, and he just kind of mistimed his jump. He went up, couldn't catch the ball, and then as he came down, the ball hit him and just not able to come up with it.
8 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Second down and 10 for the Tigers. This is actually going to be Keontae Dunbar. Dunbar is going to call his own number from the quarterback position, and I'm going to try and see what they give him. Donnie says he lost 4 yards on the play as the Eagle defense strung him out. Eagle fans, sorry, I can't see if they strung him out 4 yards, but Donnie can relay the info. So now it's going to be third down and 14 for the Tigers at their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, the Eagles have really done a good job tonight of stringing those sweeps out. They only had one play that they gave up a 10-yard run on. Everything else has really been for no gain or losses, and it's really a combination of all of them. The inside guys really getting a push, bouncing that, making that running back bouncing backwards. And the cornerbacks have been doing a great job of coming up and turning that thing inside.
Dunbar looks to throw, and looks like that one's going to be incomplete. And that's going to bring up fourth down and long for the Tigers. And I would imagine, they're going to have to punt this football again.
Yeah, I actually think he got sacked on that ball, David. We can't see because the press box blocks our view when they get further down. But I actually think that he was able to.
Well, when you get out here, and you actually leave the press box, you can see. And unfortunately, it looks like Dunbar may have been shaken up on the play as he's down and being attended to by the medical staff. Here at Tiger Stadium. I see him moving those and moving around. So it, but definitely shaken up on the play. And it is it is too. So it's a really tough vantage point to pick up from the press box here, but Dunbar definitely being attended to.
Yeah, it looks like looks like James Fort may have been shaken up on the play as well, as he's having to be helped off also.
Ford is up on his feet and making his way to the sideline. 7 minutes and 47 seconds left to play here in the first half. Eagles lead 23-7. Let's go down to the sideline and check in with Coach Sonny Vadrine. Saw the Marion State Bank sideline report. Coach, did you see what happened to the young man from Sicily Island?
Yeah, he had his leg in a real bad position when he went down out of bounds over there on that, trying to get the fumble, and looks like he just got it bent sideways. It's on his bad knee, the one that's got the brace on it, and he's really hurting in pain because he's kind of hollering about it pretty good bit. So it looks like he hurt it pretty good, guys.
Well, Dunbar is up and he's walking off under his own power, definitely limping, as Coach mentioned, and it definitely looks like he's favoring his left leg. But okay, he's up and making his way over to the sideline, and we'll get ready to resume play here. 7 minutes, 47 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. It's going to bring up Saul on that one after the loss, 4th and 27, and it looks like number 56, Xavier Ramirez, is making his way out to punt this football again, and again, Will Fitzhugh and Eli Eckstein set to return. Saul, I think if you see another low punt that's returnable, you might actually see that reverse executed this time. Faked it last time. Touchdown Ramirez is going to stand at his 5-yard line to punt the football. Good snap from center. And this one's going to be high. Not much of an opportunity for a return on this one. It's not going to take it. It's going to actually take, well, a definitively sideways bounce. No return on the play. So the Eagles will set up shop inside Tiger territory. Punt's going to cover 25 yards and no return.
They're going to get good field position here inside Sicily Islands territory with about 7 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this first half. And Eagles been good on offense since those first couple of drives.
First down and 10 for the Eagles. Ball at the Tiger 43-yard line. Eagles traveling from right to left on your radio dial. 4 receivers, part of the set. Herring with an empty backfield. Sends a man in motion. That's Dugan. Dugan's going to get this one on the speed sweep. He's going to get through a couple of Tiger defenders as he does a nice job solid planting that leg and getting upfield. And he's going to pick up 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Eagles at, well, let's call it the Tiger 38-yard line.
Yeah, real nice job by Dugan that time as he was able to stretch that thing out to the sideline, then turns it up, and Sicily out had a man defender, defensive back on the outside. He came up to make the tackle, and Dugan just with some hard running to get upfield and, again, pick up just what he can.
2nd down and 5 for the Eagles. Herring in the shotgun, empty backfield, 4 receivers. Sends another man in motion, going to fake this one. Looks to throw. He's got a man downfield, and that one is almost intercepted. So I'll tell you, you you feel sorry for the young man because earlier there was one of those passes that, definitely had too much air under it. That time, if he would have put a little air under it, he might would have had an opportunity there as he throws it with some zip on it. Unfortunately, hit one of the Tiger defenders in the chest.
Yeah, that time didn't do – we talked about earlier in the game how he done a real good job with his eyes of looking the Sicily Island defenders off. And in that time, he kind of stared Cade Woods down, and as a result, the offside safety came across the field as he watched Hunter Herring's eyes and was able to almost pick it off, as you mentioned.
It's going to be, let's call it 3rd down and 5, and we're going to have a timeout. The Eagles call a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with them. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle Football on 92.3 The Wolf. Welcome back to Raymond Peace Field here at Tiger Stadium, Sicily Island, Louisiana. The Ouachita Christian Eagles taking on the Sicily Island Tigers. 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles. Herring in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Turns, hands this one to Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh's going to have more than a first down. He's across the 35, the 20, down to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Ouachita Christian. Number 22, Will Fitzhugh, is going to take that one in for another Trinity Diamonds Direct Ouachita Christian Eagle touchdown. Touchdown's going to be 37 yards, Saul.
And just another great run by Will Fitzhugh that time as it gets the ball to the left side of the formation and just sort of makes people miss. Good blocking up front, but again, he just does a lot of that on his own. As he does 2 or 3 cuts up the field and is able to get in for the touchdown and just really about half that run was all Will Fitzhugh. The other half you can give credit to the offensive line on.
High snap from center. And that was going to be good. So our holder actually stood up and then squatted back down to lay it down. And the hold's going to be good, and the extra point attempt is going to be good as the Eagles take the lead 30-7 over the Tigers. Been a while since I've seen a holder handle one like that.
Yeah, actually, as you mentioned, stood straight up. Most of the time when the holder stands straight up, you got to have that fire call and start trying to see what you can do, maybe throw the ball in the end zone. But he calmly went back down to squatter position, put the ball on the tee and on the ground, and Harold puts it through.
Coach, you've been watching some football for a long time, and I know I have too, and I have never seen that.
Well, that was the first for me, just stand straight up and get the ball and come back down and place it. There just wasn't much rush coming at him because he shouldn't have had that much time to stand up, catch the ball, put it back down. But it's a great job of them not losing concentration and staying with it. And it was a great kick to get it in between the uprights.
All right, thanks a lot. Coach Sonny Vadrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Ouachita Christian out in front of the Sicily Island Tigers, 30-7. 6 minutes and 38 seconds left to play here in the first half. Sam Harrell is going to tee this one up at the 40-yard line. Been pretty adventurous tonight for the Eagles kicking the football. Harrell gets his leg into it, and this one is going to be fielded cleanly by number 21 for the Tigers, and he is going to make a couple of men miss, stays upright. Not Eagles able finally to hem him up, Saul. That's Javelin Robinson. But Robinson still with an impressive return. But the Eagles do hem him up this time, and it looks like the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Return covered, 26 yards on the play.
Yeah, another nice run by Sicily Island. At least the Eagles were able to keep the ball in bounds that time. And Sicily Island, again, they got a dangerous return, and you got to feel a little fortunate if you're the Eagles that he's not able to take it back for a touchdown.
1st down and 10 for the Tigers at their own 40-yard line. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Eagles lead 30-7. Sicily Island, well, actually number 4, DeCarlisle Fountain is going to go under center. On the carry for the Tigers is going to be number 7, Londre James. And the James is going to lose 1 yard on the play and saw another toss play that the Eagles able to get out in front of, stringing out this Tiger sweep game. And that's going to be a loss of 1 to bring up 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, just what I was talking about before. They're just doing a great job of stringing that sweep out, and just nothing there for Sicily Island. That's their bread and butter is running that sweep with those good athletes they have in the backfield. And when they can't run that, they really can't run an offense because they've just not been able to do anything at all tonight offensively.
Well, we got a quick hydrations timeout by the officials. We'll take a quick timeout with them. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. Island High School. Tigers hosting the Ouachita Christian Eagles. 6 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Eagles lead 30-7. 2nd down and 11 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 40-yard line. A low snap going to be lost. The Eagles may have come up with this one. No indication yet. Looks like the Tigers able to come up with it, Saul, as number 7 that time, Londre James, able to come up with the snap as the Eagles close to getting a turnover, but it's going to be a loss of 4 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, it's been several times tonight that they've had low snaps and really disrupted their plays, just not been able to do much with it. And, again, that happens, and the Eagles able to get back there quickly, and Sicily out of another long yardage situation that they've really faced just about the whole night.
3rd down and 15. Under center is DeCarlisle Fountain. And Fountain's going to take that one. And look, the Eagles are saying they have the football. No indication from the officials right now.
And they do have the football. They're going to give it to him.
He does. On the recovery that time, Saul, it looked like for the Eagles is number 40, Kale, your guy, number 40, Kale Skipper, comes up with a fumble recovery for the Eagles. And the Eagles are going to take over there, 1st down and 10 in Tiger territory at the Sicily Island 39. Herring bringing the Eagles out. wasting little time on the change of possession. 4 receivers part of the set. In the shotgun. Good snap from center. Looks to throw and does. That one's going to be, well, it's going to go off of the outstretched fingertips of number 15, Eli Eckstein. Solid. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it looked like a good throw from here. He ran an out route, and you know, Coach Vadrine talked about earlier, it is very hard to see out there, and I'm not so sure that Eckstein didn't lose sight of that ball when he came out of his break, as it looked like it was pretty close.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. They wait for the play call from the sideline. 2 running backs in the backfield with Herring. Bob Mathern and Dylan Dugan. Going to turn, hands this one to Dugan. Dugan's going to make one-man miss. And you know something, Saul? You touched on it earlier. Another nice, tough run out of Dylan Dugan as he picks up 5 yards on the play. Got in behind Bub Mathern that time and just took the tough yards north and south. And again, like as you mentioned earlier, Saul, really doing a nice job of putting the ball up, moving the ball up the field tonight.
Yeah, I like how he's run the football tonight. You know, it's not going to always be breakaway runs like he's had a lot of this year. You know, sometimes you got to just get what you can, and that's what he's done tonight, just running hard behind those big guys up front.
Herring out of the shotgun, sends Mathern in motion across the formation. Good snap, turns, hands this one to Dugan. Again, Dugan north and south, but I think he may have lost the football. It's definitely fumbled, but we don't know who came up with it. No indication from the officials right now. It looks like the Eagles do, and they maintain possession. A nice hard run that time again, north and south out of Dugan, Saul, but unfortunately loses a handle on it, but the Eagles able to maintain possession.
Yeah, that's what you can't do is give that ball up in the open field, and kind of got a little careless with it that time, and a Sicily Island defender got his arm in there and knocked the ball loose from Dugan.
Gain of 8 yards on the play, but more than enough for another community pharmacy first down. Herring looks to throw and does. That one's going to be complete to Bub Mathern. Bub's inside the 20, down inside the 10, fighting for yardage. Bub won't be denied. Touchdown, Ouachita Christian. Number 21, Bub Mathern, is going to take it in from 23 yards out on the other end of a Hunter Herring touchdown pass.
And that's going to be Mathern's 3rd TD reception of the year that time, and that was his toughest of the year as he caught that football and was tackled or attempted to be tackled at about the 10-yard line. And he just kept grinding, kept turning his feet, spinning, and maybe even got away from a face mask to get into the end zone.
Well, you know, the horrible thing about being here in Sicily, on one of them is this is, again, the end zone. I assume he got a face mask, so I never could see, but he does make it in. They do call a face mask, so I'm assuming he got away with one.
Put your helmet back on. You might go back in the game. That was the one play.
Harrell on to attempt the extra point for the Eagles. No indication. They're going to tee this one up for the extra point attempt. Good snap from center. Boy, this one looks good from here, and it is, as Harrell's going to put that one right through the uprights and add to the Eagle lead, 37-7 with 3 minutes and 51 seconds left to play here in the first half.
A nice drive again by the Eagles as they've kind of taken control of this ball game tonight, and just a really, really good job of execution by the Eagles on these last several drives.
Well, you and I had touched on it. I tell you what, let's go down to the sideline, check in with Coach Sonny Vadrine. Coach, is there ever a rule of thumb or ever anything that makes you, as a team, when do you start trying to filter in some of these young guys?
After the first drive of the second half. There was a face mask on that last play, y'all were right, and we're going to take the penalty on the kickoff, and normally we would go with the onside kick, but since we're up 37-7, we're going to try to kick it in the end zone. But like you're saying, if this stays like it is, then you'll probably give the first team one drive in the second half, and then try to go with the young guys the rest of the way. That's, let everybody rest and try to get healed up.
Boy, Coach, I haven't gone down to you a couple times, Saul, and I've been tempted. But, man, a couple of those kicks early looked like they whizzed you down there on the sideline.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's been kind of crazy. They just kind of let them go, and if one would just bounce the other way, we could have got that ball and had it. And the quarterback throws the ball so high it goes over the lights and goes out of sight, and then he has to come back down the lights where you can see it to get an interception. So it's kind of an adventure down here right now.
Well, Harold does get his leg into this one, and that's going to travel through the end zone. You called it, Coach, all the way through the end zone. Thanks a lot, Coach Sonny Badrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Saw that may be the first one we've seen travel through the end zone in a while.
Yeah, definitely. Holyfield got one in the end zone, I thought, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even last week. But, one thing I was noticing about the lights, we can't see the lights on our side of the field, but on the other side, not only are they low, but there's several bulbs out. And it looks like there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bulbs that I can. That's almost half the bulbs that make up these lights. And really, it's a street light in one corner of the end zone that maybe gives off more brightness than the actual football lights do.
They definitely challenge here at Tiger Stadium. First down and 10 for Sicily Island. They're going to have the ball at their own 20-yard line following the touchback. They're going to keep this one on the ground. Actually, a gain of 4 yards. That's going to be number 21, Javelin Robinson. And it's going to bring up second down and 6 for the Tigers. They'll spot this football at the Tiger 24-yard line. 3 minutes and 27 seconds left to play here in the first half. 37-7. Favor of the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Shotgun backfield set up behind the center. Another low snap. This time they keep it on the ground with number 10, Davian Carey. And Carey may have lost the football. Saw again a scrum for the ball. Looks like the Eagles may have it. No official indication. And now we do. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Eagles at the Tiger 25-yard line.
And I'm not sure who caused that fumble, but somebody came up like a rocket from the outside and hit the Sicily Island running back and knocked the ball loose. And then Christopher Holyfield just dove and took that ball away from the Sicily Island defender to come up with a fumble recovery.
It's going to be first down and 10 for the Eagles. Bunch formation to the right. 4 receivers to junior quarterback Hunter Herring's right. Lone receiver to the left is Chase Simmons. Simmons is going to go in motion, and Simmons is going to get the carry. Simmons has got some speed. He's going to go inside the 10, the 5, touchdown! Number 88, Chase Simmons. What a burst, Saul. 23-yard touchdown run, almost untouched.
Yeah, and Simmons the fastest guy in school, David, and he actually ran the anchor on the Eagles mile relay team and also 100-yard dash as well, 100-meter dash as well for the Eagles, and he can go. And that time the Eagles give it to him on the speed sweep, and you saw how fast he was as he gets around that corner and up the sideline very quickly for the touchdown.
So did all the folks here at Sicily Island. A few heads still being shaken over that. What a burst of speed. Simmons goes in from 28 yards. And another Trinity Diamonds direct touchdown for the Eagles. You know, Saul, we hadn't had too many chances to talk and give the folks at Randall's Fine Meat the recognition for being in the red zone, because every time we get close to it, it seems like somebody takes it through the Randall's Fine Meat zone in for the touchdown. Sam Harold on to attempt the extra point. He's finding his groove, Saul, as that one splits the uprights. And the Eagles are going to add to their lead now, 44-7.
Boy, just been an explosion after those first 2 drives where the Eagles stall with a interception and then just stall on downs. And, they've turned it on since then. And that hadn't just been run the football, it's been passing the football as well.
And I had a chance, Saul, to look at that Eagle drive from outside the press box and to bring you up to speed on the light situation on this side of the stadium. It's pretty much about the same. About the same. A lot of light bulbs in need of attention here at Raymond Peace Field, Tiger Stadium.
I tell you what else they need other than light bulbs too is they need an air conditioning unit in this press box too. As it is a hot box in here in this press box.
It is definitely on the warm side. It looked like you got a little bit of sweat going there, and maybe you needed some water here at that half.
I need a hydration timeout for the radio crew.
2 minutes and 51 seconds left to play here in the second half before we can get some water. Eagles lead 44-7. Sam Harrell going to tee this one up at his own 40-yard line. The Tigers with some dangerous return men. They showed the Eagles that earlier tonight with a 90-yard touchdown kickoff return. Harrell gets his leg into it, and this one's going to be fielded cleanly by one of those Tigers. On the return is actually number 21, Javelin Robinson. Robinson's going to lose the football. No indication, but it looks like the Tigers are able to cover that one.
Boy, and the Eagles, again, with a nice job of stripping that football. That's about three. I mean, actually, the last 3 times Sicily Island's touched the football, they've been stripped of it, and this time they're able to recover it. But Eagles very opportunistic, and that was another one of my keys before the ball game. And it really defensively was talking about creating turnovers, which you've done such a good job of, on the year so far. Against Gina, we had 2 fumble recoveries and an interception. Against Sterlington, we had 4 turnovers as well. And tonight, if I'm not mistaken, I think we've got 3 turnovers so far in the first half on an interception and a couple of fumble recoveries.
2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the second half. Eagles lead 44-7. And it looks like the Tigers are going to take a timeout. We'll take a quick one with them. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. Welcome back to Sicily Island High School. Tiger Stadium. The Sicily Island Tigers hosting the Ouachita Christian Eagles. Eagles lead this game 44-7. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the ball game. I'm sorry. Here in the first half. Tigers find themselves with the ball, first down and 10 at their own 29-yard line. In at quarterback, Austin Polk. Polk looks to throw this football and does. It's going to be complete on the far side of the field to number 10, Devian Carey. And Carey's going to pick up 9 yards, and that's going to be close to a first down. A gain of 8, actually, and so now you're going to be looking at 2nd and 2, but a pretty positive pass play that time out of this Tiger offense.
Yeah, good throw and catch that time on the sideline, and pretty good coverage over there by Julian Stevenson as he was right there to defend the ball once it was caught and really wrapped him up for no gain. Actually didn't end up making the tackle, but held him up long enough for a couple more Eagles to come over and finish him off.
2nd down and 2. Low snap. It's going to be handled. Actually, this one's going to be complete out in the flat to number 3, Jamonte Jordan. And Jordan is going to have more than enough for a first down before he's run out of bounds by an Eagle defender. They're going to move the chains. It's been a long time since we've seen the Tigers move the chains. So,
yeah, another good throw and catch that time, and able to get out of bounds to try to stop this clock. Again, trailing 44-7. Sicily Island here with 1 minute and 52 seconds left to go in this first half.
Gain of 9 yards on the play. First down and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 45-yard line. Number 11, Austin Polk in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Now he's going to feel a little pressure. He's going to pull it down, and we're going to have a face mask. One of the Eagle defenders. So I don't know if they're going to get him with a 15-yard variety, but definitely an unintended face mask. But, boy, it was a pretty good one, and the Eagles are going to fall victim to that. A sack on the play, but definitely a penalty marker as that happened right in front of us.
Eagles got back there quickly. I think I was going to get Christian Gray as he was running to sack the quarterback, and as he got back there, the quarterback shifted up in the pocket. Gray stuck his hand out and got his face mask on the way through. It's going to be a flagrant 15-yarder, I'm pretty sure.
Well, the officials are discussing it with the coach. And no indication right now. They're still discussing it. Definitely unintentional, Saul, but sometimes even if it's unintended, depending on how long you grab it and how long you have it and the severity.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the way his head whipped around that they would call it a flagrant.
Yeah, they're going to call it a personal foul face mask, so that's definitely going to be the 15-yard variety. Eagles actually the recipient of a couple of penalties that time. They got dinged with holding and a personal foul face mask.
Of course, they're going to decline the holding penalty and take the personal foul, 15-yarder for the face mask.
And I'm not sure the Tigers have been in Eagle territory all night, but this time they are. First down and 10 at the Eagle 45-yard line. Other than the touchdown, they took through Eagle territory on the kickoff return. Number 11, Austin. They may have found a little rhythm here. Saw getting away from the box and kind of a different quarterback. Polk has been lining up in the shotgun and able to kind of make this offense run a little bit. First down and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at the Eagle 45. Low snap from center. It's gotten away from the Eagles are going to come up with it. Boy, that low snap from center has eaten the Tigers alive. 1 minute and 34 seconds left to play here in the first half. The Eagles are going to take over on the fumble recovery. You wanted another turnover before the half, Saul. You just got one. That's going to make it 4 turnovers here in the first half of play.
Yeah, just killed him, that low center, and really the quarterback for Sicily Island should have just fallen the football. Instead, he tried to pick it up and just never could find the handle on the Eagles back there. It may have been Dugan that got the football for the fumble recovery. The third fumble recovery by the Eagles from the night, and that to go along with 1 interception would lead to 4 turnovers so far tonight.
Saul, they didn't wait to throw the hook in for quarterback Hunter Herring. And for the Eagles, that quarterback is going to be number 5, Landon Graves. Graves is going to pull this one down quick and throw the football, and does. Well thrown football. It was low and away from the defense, Saul, but it needed to be, as that time he was throwing it in there to Thomas Culp, low and inside, as Culp comes up with a nice catch on the quick slant.
Yeah, that'd be an RPO right there as he fakes that ball inside, reads the linebacker, and then pulls it and throws it in behind on the slant, and a good throw and catch from Graves to Culp.
Graves in the shotgun. Turns, hands this one to Dugan. Dugan with a seam. Another tough run inside by Dugan. As Saul, he squares those shoulders again and just really running the ball with some toughness tonight as he picks up about 12 or 13 yards on the carry.
Yeah, good play and good offensive line play up front as well as it opens up the hole for Dugan.
Graves to the line in a hurry. Good snap from center. Turns again, hands this one to Dugan. Dugan is going to get hit. He's going to carry a couple of Tiger defenders, but they get on his back early as that time going to pick up 4 yards on the play. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout for the Eagles. The Eagles take a quick timeout. We're going to take one with them. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. Welcome back to Sicily Island, Louisiana. Tiger Stadium. The Ouachita Christian Eagles and the Sicily Island Tigers playing a little football. Eagles lead this one 44-7. 42 seconds left to play here in the first half. Landon Graves on in relief of junior quarterback Hunter Herring. Turns and hands this one to Dugan, and Dugan's going to lose a yard on that one. Tough to make out the down marker over there, Saul, but I think that's a third. It's
third down. And the Eagles still with the starting offensive line in the ball game in Sicily Island with a good job that time of getting some push up front. Nowhere for Dugan to go.
Graves in the gun. Good snap. This time he's going to call his own number. Going to have a little stutter step there, and that moment of hesitation may have cost him a first down. He picked up 3. It looked like he was just a little indecisive that time, Saul, but that is going to bring an end to the first half of play here at Tiger Stadium. The Ouachita Christian Eagles out in front of the Sicily Island Tigers, 44-7. We'll take a quick break from here at Tiger Stadium and invite you to join us back here for the Rocket Fast Car Wash halftime show. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf.
4 yards. Tristan Wiley 1 for 34, and Van Daven for Mathern 1 for 24 and a touchdown.
All right, thanks a lot. Again, want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Rocket Fast Car Wash halftime show. Rocket Fast, it's a blast as we get ready to get this game underway. Sam Harrell tees it up at the 40-yard line and gets his leg into it. A high end-over-end kick. It's going to be, well, it's going to be mishandled by the Tigers. Eagles down there with some really good coverage. But actually on this return is, again, number 21 for the Tigers. That's Javelin Robinson. And Robinson may have picked this ball up at his 10-yard line. He's still on his feet. And so he's going to take this one. This may be his, well, I don't know if he returned the first one, but that's going to be the second kick return for a touchdown tonight, as that kickoff return covers 96 yards. Number 21, Javelin Robinson.
And I tell you what, Dave, the Eagles had a chance to tackle him inside the 5-yard line as he mishandled that football and went back to get it. And there's about 4 or 5 Eagle defenders, kick coverers, who had a chance to make the play and just couldn't do it. And he just kept making people miss and shot down the left sideline. And again, as we saw on the first return of the ball game for the touchdown that Sicily Island had, nobody could catch him once they got in the open field.
Well, Coach Fitz, you alluded to it in the broadcast. He said this is the best kickoff return team that I have seen. And they've lived up to the billing so far tonight. There are only 2 scores of the night coming by way of the kickoff return. On to handling the kicking chores for the Tigers, number 56, Xavier Ramirez. He's 1 for 1 on his extra points tonight. And before the snap, it looks like we've got something going on. I'm not really sure. Have to go down to the sideline, check in with Coach Sonny Vadrine. Coach, what's going on down there?
I don't know. Some kind of confusion over here. I don't know what the ref's walking over to the sideline to find out what's going on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I didn't see a flag being thrown at all.
Yeah, I hadn't seen one as well, Coach. Thanks a lot, Coach. Coach Sonny Vadrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report. And actually what was taking place is a timeout taken by the Tigers. Eagles lead this contest 44-13. Extra point attempt on the way. And Coach Fitzhugh actually jogged all the way out to the field. And I don't know, Saul, it's been a while since I've seen a head coach that far out in the middle of the field. Let's go down to the sideline with Coach Sonny Vadrine. Coach,
there ain't been no sign at all from the referee what's going on. It really ain't. I mean,
can you go out to the?
You can. In a situation like that, when it's the official's timeout, you can see what's going on.
All right.
I think what Coach Fitzhugh's trying to do is he's got some younger guys in the ball game. He's taking his starters out of the game, and he's trying to get them lined up right, as I believe what's taking place.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen him jog out to the middle of the field.
Surprised he put that much effort into an extra point attempt, but he wanted to make sure they were lined up right for this extra point.
Well, Ramirez is going to come on to attempt the extra point. He's 1 for 1 on his extra point attempts tonight. They get a good snap. Eagles with not much of a rush. Ramirez gets his leg into it. And that looks up and good. Yeah, Saul, it was there was a lot of organization to go through, and the Eagles with no rush at all on the extra point attempt.
I mean, he could have just left from the sideline. Hey, just stand where you are. It doesn't matter where you lined up because they didn't rush it. But I guess took his time to make sure they lined up right, and they lined up well. And a good extra point by Sicily Island, and a couple of good kick returns by Sicily Island to get them some points in this ball game, as they really have been able to do nothing else on offense.
Well, the
tonight.
one number that stood out, and I just wanted to take a moment to go back and ask you, did you say 8 yards of total offense?
That's right, and I also said minus 17 rushing by Sicily Island in the first half.
A good performance so far out of this Eagle defense tonight. 44-14, and again, the only points coming via long kickoff returns, and that's another thing too. So I think the first kickoff return, if I'm not mistaken, Donnie told me was 90 yards. The second kickoff return covers 96 yards. So long kickoff returns. Ramirez tees this one up at the 40-yard line. A lot of fresh faces back here on the return for the Eagles as well, as I think most of the Eagle starters are going to get a break the rest of the evening, which is going to make things interesting for you and I as we try to track down some of these new names and numbers. Low line drive kick And that's going to travel over the head of one of the Eagle returners. Actually, on the return that time is going to be number 88 for the Eagles, and that's Chase Simmons. Simmons impressive with his speed early, and again, I tell you, you get him the ball in space, he might take another one to the house. One of the fastest Eagles that I've seen in some time.
Yeah, the ball kind of did what it did to Sicily Island, except Simmons able to sort of corral it before it rolled back a few more yards. But just took a bad bounce when he came up to try to field it. And, of course, first time I've seen Chase Simmons deep to field a kickoff, so he's not really had a lot of practice doing it. And did a good job of just catching the football and getting what he could.
First down and 10 for the Eagles, and we have a lot of fresh faces in the game. Well, not too many. It looks like some of the O-line's still in there, Saul, but Graves is going to continue to run things from the quarterback position. Number 5, Landon Graves, pulls this one down. It's going to be complete to number 7, Thomas Culp. And Culp is going to make a couple of he's going to make it tough on a couple of Sicily Island defenders as they're going to pick up, let's give him 7 yards on the play. That's going to bring up second down and 3. Graves with another nice throw on a quick slant pass.
It's been about 3 years since the Eagles have given up a kickoff return, as the last one was against Cedar Creek in 2016. And so tonight in one ball game, the Eagles give up 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns.
Graves is going to fake this one inside, and he's going to get run out of bounds on the far side of the field. It looks like we got a penalty marker, Saul, and it looks like it may be in the area of holding, but we don't know yet. No official indication. It is, and now the referee's going to signal holding against the Eagles. So that's going to be a spot foul, and that's going to back the Eagles up a pretty good bit on that one. We'll see where they spot this football, but it looks like they're going to probably be looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2nd down and 9, 2nd and 8. Depends on where the final spot is.
Yeah, I couldn't tell for sure who they got on the holding penalty, but I think it was John Daniel Thomas on the outside, was blocking as a wide receiver. And a nice run by Landon Graves that time as he gets outside, and he can definitely run the football well, and just caught John Daniel Thomas on the outside with the holding.
2nd down and 6 for the Eagles following the penalty. Graves is going to take this one, and now we're going to have a late penalty as the Eagles look like they're going to get dinged with a false start. Saul, I can't really make it out. You do a lot better job than I do, but how much of our starting offensive line is still in the game?
Well, they still got James David Miller, and they've also got Casey Cobb, and I think that may be it. They may have number 55 Avery Pilgrims in there tonight. And I think tonight Casey, I wasn't sure if Casey Cobb or Pilgrim got the start at left guard. I know James David Miller was back at right guard, but all 3 of those guys have been starters at one time, including tonight.
Dugan and Graves get things set up. Graves in the shotgun. Good snap from center, turns, hands this one to Dugan. He's going to find some tough sledding inside, but again, a really, really tough run out of Dugan as he pushes the pile, and again, Saul making those tough yards in between the tackles. You really love to see that out of Dugan.
Yeah, Dugan's kind of changed his attitude about how he runs the football tonight in this ball game, and I really like to see that because, in my opinion, he can be very, very he is a talented running back. I mean, he's got, in fact, we saw that his freshman year where he had a 239-yard game, I think, and in the top 10 for single game rushing by an Eagle, but certainly can be a much better running back after what we see tonight and how he's run the football hard.
Graves gets a good snap from center, but he's going to come up a little short. Needed 4, picked up 2, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 2 for the Eagles, and it looks like Coach Fitzhugh is going to send the punting unit on. Probably a good idea, Saul, to be able to just work on the punt. I don't know that the Eagles have punted the football so far tonight.
No, this will be the first punt of tonight, and Landon Graves comes in this ball game averaging 33 yards a punt. His long on the year has been 47 yards, and as I've mentioned a few times on these broadcasts so far this year, I really like the way he punts the football. Most importantly, I like how he gets the football off quickly to prevent blocks.
Well, the Tigers are going to send a couple of men deep. And Coach Fitzhugh again saw a little confusion, is going to take a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with them. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. 30 seconds. Welcome back to Raymond Peace Field on the campus of Sicily Island High School, Sicily Island, Louisiana. The Ouachita Christian Eagles out in front of the Sicily Island Tigers 44-14. 9 minutes and 12 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Graves is going to stand at his 15-yard line. Gets a high snap. Oh, wow, nice punt. He's going to turn that one over. It's going to bounce at the Tiger 30, and it's going to bounce inside the Tiger 20, and it's going to keep rolling. And it looks like it may be close to going out of bounds at about the Tiger 16, 17-yard line. But, man, another nice punt out of Landon Graves. So probably one of the biggest improvement areas so far I've seen this season is that young man's ability to punt the football.
Yeah, and he's just
great job. Punt covered 51 yards.
And he's going to just keep getting better, David. That's the weapon you need in the playoffs. You know, that's what we went down in a game against Sacred Heart a couple of years ago and almost lost the football game because we couldn't punt it. And we ended up winning it, but it was one of those kind of things where it was just scary every time you went back there. And he's a one-stepper, and he's a great athlete, so he's going to catch the football first. And then he gets that one step into it, and you saw that time, not only did he kick it high and long, but he directionally kicked it away from the Sicily Island defender who had no chance to return it.
Great punt that time. First down and 10 for the Tigers. They put this ball at the Tiger 18-yard line. A lot of movement, but no flags. Now they throw this one out in the flat, and it's going to be incomplete. As looks like Polk was looking for Landre James, and that's going to be incomplete. Brings up second down and 10 for the Tigers. And saw it, you hate this. You look at it tonight, and it looks like the Tigers, not a lot of rhythm, but they got number 11, Austin Polk, in the game, and he seems to be kind of dealing it more, spreading it around to these different guys. More so than the box or some of the other stuff that they were doing early on.
Yeah, certainly the only success they had was on that last drive of the first half, and it was only negated by the fact they had a bad snap and they fumbled the football, but he was actually finding some guys in the flat and picking up a few yards here and there and got a couple of first downs.
Polk again gets a good snap this time, hands it off. Positive running that time right up the middle of the field. A little soft spot in the Eagle defense. Going to get the Tigers 3 yards on the carry for Sicily Island. Number 7, Landre James. It's going to bring up third down and 7 for the Tigers. They have this one spotted at the Tiger 21-yard line.
Well, and Kel Skipper making his presence felt these first couple of plays on defense as he's made both tackles, and Sicily Island's having a hard time to blocking him so far tonight. He's playing inside linebacker and just doing a great job of reading that play and shooting the gap and tackling Sicily Island for some short gains.
Kel Skipper with a fumble recovery earlier tonight. Third down and 7 for the Tigers. Polk throws this one out. It's going to be just jumped on, and it's going to be a touchdown. So you talked about, I guess, Hunter Herring not being able to look off his receiver. Polk kind of radared that one, and
not a lot of excitement on that call. It was an interception for a touchdown from Landon Graves on the sideline.
Yeah. Actually, that's a touchdown. 19 yards out as Graves takes it in and basically untouched on the interception.
Yeah, just jumps the route on the outside as they run a quick out, and Graves with a great play on the sideline as he read the route and made a good jump on it and picks the pass off for a touchdown.
Eagles are going to increase their lead 50-14. Sam Harold on to attempt the extra point for the Eagles. Interesting to watch Sam kick, too, Eagle fans. If you haven't seen it, he's a left-footed kicker. His approach is just a little bit different. I wish I could tell you if it was good, but there's no way I can from this vantage point.
It's good.
So Harold's kick is going to go through the uprights, and the Eagles are going to increase their lead 51-14. Now I got a real important question that I've got to ask Coach Sonny Vadreen with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Coach, 51-14, 8 minutes left here in the third quarter. Any idea when you start running the clock?
Well, I figured they would have already done it, but it's up to the coach on the other side. If he don't want to run it, they're not going to run it. He acts like he don't want to run the clock. So, I don't know if there's a rule, in high school football that when it gets to a certain point, you have to run the clock. I don't know that.
Yeah.
But, if he don't want to run the clock, we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and maybe we'll score 80. I don't know.
I got you.
But, I don't know that there is a rule about running the clock. I really don't.
All right. Thanks a lot. Coach Sonny Vadreen with the Marion State Bank sideline report. nothing against the young men saw from Sicily Island. The effort's definitely there. I just typically, most of these games we've covered that get kind of out of hand, they start running the clock by now.
Yeah, it's hard to really let the people out there who listen to this thing on the radio understand exactly how hot it is in this press box. But we're really close to the clock next door, and if there's any way I can get over there and run that clock, I'm going to do it just to get out of this press box.
It's probably not any cooler over there. 8 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. The Eagles lead this game 51-14. Sam Harrell's going to bring the ball out, tee it up at the 40-yard line. Tigers definitely with dangerous return men deep, especially one of them, number 21, Javelin Robinson, and he is going to get this kick. Starts off at his 20, goes across his 25, keeps moving. Now he's across the 20, across the 30, across the 40 before he's run out of bounds at midfield. Saul, every time you think they got the guy hemmed up and they think he's fixing to go down, he breaks 2 more tackles and gets another 10 yards. That time, a tackle away from taking that one to the house, a gain of 34 yards on the return.
Yeah, and after a 91 and a 99 or whatever they were.
96.
You got to call that one a win when you stop them short of the 50-yard line.
Now they're going to have excellent field position to start this drive. A moment ago, Landon Graves, stepping in front of an Austin Polk pass, took it in for a touchdown. First down and 10 for Sicily Island, ball at their own 46-yard line. 7 minutes and 48 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Eagles lead 51-14. Good snap from center. Polk's going to look for somebody to throw the ball to. He's got time, going to put a lot of air under this one, and we're probably going to have a pass interference call. And, boy, you hate to say it, but it did that time look like Cade Woods got there a little early.
Yeah, Eagles playing man-to-man coverage on the backside, and they have their starters in, the Eagles do, on defense, at least maybe not up front, but in the secondary they have Eckstein and Fitzhugh, and Cade Woods was in there, and they were playing straight man, no free safety, not looking at the quarterback, and Cade Woods lost his man, and he was wide open. They threw it up in the air, and Cade Woods came out and just tackled him before the ball got there.
Got a coach from Sicily Island out on the field, middle of the field, and they'll get him off the field as the Tigers are going to be the beneficiaries of the other pass interference call. Penalized 10 yards on the play, the Eagles are, so it's going to be first down and 10 for the Tigers in Eagle territory at the Eagle 41-yard line. Polk in the shotgun. Low snap, is going to turn, hand that one at number 7, and he is going to be hammered. Saul, I don't know how many times you've told me, I didn't even really have to see. That was one of those ones where you knew that was probably Cade Woods as an explosive lick right there in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of 6 yards on the play.
And Cade Woods says, forget pass coverage, let me rush the quarterback, and that time he did it, and he punished him. We talked about it. Just about every hit he makes is just perfect extension, perfect contact, and explosion, and that's just another example of one of those ferocious hits from Cade Woods.
Textbook tackle, face up, head up, just exploding through the ball carrier. Loss of 6 yards on the play. Second down and 16 for the Tigers. Polk, another good snap from center. He's going to feel pressure immediately. He's going to be dropped. Now we're going to have a penalty, and I'm not sure who that penalty is going to be on. We didn't have a face mask. I can tell you right now, the guy grabbed him by the back of the helmet, but the officials are going to call a face mask, and as a result, we're going to be penalized 15 yards on the play.
Well, I tell you what, a great pass block by Sicily Island on Cade Woods that time as he was coming in. Cade was coming back to rush again that time, and the running back for Sicily Island hit him straight in the thigh and just doubled him over, and probably had a pretty good thigh bruise is what Cade Woods is going to have, as he just that's the way you neutralize the pass rush if you're on offense, and the Sicily Island running back did a pretty good job of it that time.
Well, the Eagles are going to be penalized 15 yards on the play. And now we're going to have a timeout taken by the Eagles. The Eagles take a timeout with 6:44 left to play in the third quarter. We'll take one with them. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. Welcome back to Raymond Peace Field here on the campus of Sicily Island High School, Sicily Island, Louisiana. The Eagles out in front of the Sicily Island Tigers, 51-14. 6 minutes and 44 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Second down and 7 for the Tigers as they find themselves with the ball at the Eagle 35-yard line. Austin Polk in the shotgun, gets a snap. He's going to throw this one up in the air, and there's not going to be anybody over there to catch it as Polk's pass is going to drift out of bounds. Now we're going to have a personal foul chop block against the Tigers. I don't think it was the same chop block that Cade Woods fell victim to, Saul, but it's definitely going to be a chop block, and they're going to mark off 15 yards against the Tigers.
This game's gotten a little bit sloppy here, David, as it's slow to a snail's pace.
Oh, absolutely.
And the press box gets hotter.
It is definitely a hot box, no doubt about it. Let's go down to the sideline and catch up with Coach Sonny Vadrine. Coach, you got us tonight.
Well,
you got the breeze and you got the easy cool down there while Saul and I up here laboring this sauna.
That's good. I'm glad y'all get jumping a little bit. But it's just getting sloppy out here now. Just penalties going kind of crazy. The kids are just getting sloppy. They're not running the clock, which they should be running the clock. And if they don't want to run it, we ought to score 80 on them is all I can say.
All right, Coach. Coach Sonny Vadrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report following the penalty. Second down and 29 for the Sicily Island Tigers. They put the ball at the Tiger 40-yard line. Big penalty on the chop block. Austin Polk in at quarterback. Gets a good snap. He's going to throw that one out in the flat, and that play never even had a chance. I don't even think Polk really saw just how bad number 21, Javelin Robinson, was going to get hit when he caught that ball, but about 4 Eagle defenders there to wait on him to catch it, and he's going to lose 8 yards on the play, which is going to bring up, if my math's right, it's going to be, looks like third down and 35. Actually 37 for the Tigers. 5 minutes and 44 seconds, and now the clock is going to stop again. And I can't see an indication of why, but maybe a hydration timeout with 5:44. Well, they'll take a hydration timeout. We'll take a quick one with them. Well, you're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. And I think they'll spot this football at about the, let's see, let's call it the 33-yard line. Look to throw. They're going to throw this one out in the flat, and it's going to be incomplete, and it's going to bring up fourth down and long for the Tigers. And I haven't seen Ramirez drift out there yet.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to punt this football, and the clock continues to stop. This has been the longest four-play series that I can think of, and And you talk about change of down and distance, and we were actually, I believe, in OCS territory, and now we're back in Sicily Island territory after penalties and lost yardage, and just had been very well played by either team here in this last few possessions.
Well, Will Fitzhugh is standing deep for the Eagles. Ramirez getting ready to punt this football, and not really sure exactly. Well, we're waiting on a Tiger player to take the field. Play clock just now inside 10. Ramirez gets it, and he's going to punt this football. Fitzhugh's going to signal for a fair catch, and he's going to get hit, and they're going to throw a flag on him, as Will didn't take much of a bump, but I'm sure that's going to be running into the receiver, and probably maybe a 10-yard penalty.
And in terms of fair catches, that was probably the most clear fair catch I've ever seen. I mean,
well, you don't know it. Man could not even have seen him down there. It's dark as it is. And the punt covered 33 yards, no return, but there's going to be a penalty. And it is a personal foul penalty, so it's probably going to be 15 yards as they'll mark this one off. As Coach Vadrine had alluded to earlier, now we do see, Saul, there's a lot of fresh faces in here now. No doubt about it. That's except for maybe the offensive line, still some starters in there on that, but these receivers, and now we've got, again, we've got the quarterback Landon Graves in, calling signals for the Eagles. New running backs, new receivers, maybe even a few new linemen. Graves is going to fake that one, keeps it himself. He's going to stop and start. He's going to keep his legs moving. He's moving across. He's going to have more than enough for a community pharmacy first down. Well, no, he's not, because now there's going to be a hold called against the Eagles. And the clock is going to stop again with 5 minutes and 21 seconds.
Wow.
5 minutes and 21 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
Well,
Eagles lead 51-14, and we got a stoppage on a holding call after Graves picks up the first down.
And you got to hand it to the referees for continuing to grind. I mean, they're going to make sure that this is followed exactly the way it should be. That's as right. This game comes to just a halt. I mean,
we got to make sure we get our money's worth. That's for sure. All right, so now we're going to be looking at 1st and 20. Ball at midfield. Graves in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Turns. He's going to hand this one off. Nice burst of speed that time up the middle of the field. Definitely a face mask that time, but no call. That's going to be number 28 for the Eagles. Chad Strickland. And Strickland with a nice burst as he picks up 15 yards on the play.
Yeah, boy, you can tell he's got some speed too and some vision. I like the way he made that cut. Had a good hole up front. He planted the foot in the ground and got upfield. Good job by the offensive line to give him some room to run as well.
Fresh legs out of number 28, Chad Strickland. Graves in the shotgun. Going to keep this one himself, trying to find a soft spot, and he does. Going to be probably a gain of 2 yards. That's going to bring up, I'd forgotten about the holding call. So that real nice gain of Strickland saw is only going to put the Eagles following the Graves run with 3rd down and 3. As they put this ball down at let's call it the Tiger 34-yard line. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Graves with an empty backfield. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Going to send Strickland in motion, and they're going to give it to him on a speed sweep. Strickland's got the edge. He's going to have more than enough for a first down. Continues to grind those legs. Another bright spot saw on the offensive side of the ball. Number 28, Chad Strickland, with nice speed that time, and again, a nice cut-up field to pick up a community pharmacy first down. Gain of 13 yards on the play.
You had some good blocks on the outside by receivers that time as they ran the speed sweep, hand the ball to Strickland, and that was Porter Ratliff, and I believe number 4 out there who we don't have a name for the Eagles, but he had a nice block by number 4 for OCS, who we have no name.
Graves is going to lose a handle on this one, Saul. I couldn't make out if it was just a bad snap or he's just unable to come up with it, but he's going to lose the handle on it, and as a result, he's going to lose 10 yards. Very costly mishap that time for the Eagles, but Graves doing the smart thing, just diving on the football, protecting it, and then living to fight another day. You're going to be looking at 2nd and 20 now as they spot this football at the Tiger, let's call it 30-yard line. 3 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Eagles lead 51-14. Graves in the shotgun. Good snap from center. Going to fake this one inside. Now he's going to run the run-pass option. A nice little throw out in the flat. But unfortunately, not a whole lot of running room out there as they're going to pick up 3 yards. But it's going to bring up a big third down play here for the Eagles. Looking at, well, actually fourth down. Looking at probably 4th and 16 for the Eagles.
Yeah, it was just a little option pass where Graves fakes it inside, and he runs to the outside and has the option to throw it to the receiver, which he did. And could have been a big play for Ratliff, but unfortunately, receiver on the outside for the Eagles didn't get his block, and as a result, Ratliff was tackled as soon as he caught it.
Going to run the speed sweep again to Strickland. No, they're not. They're going to fake it inside. And I'll tell you what, Saul, if he'd have given it to Strickland on that, he had some running room. As a result, Graves keeps it himself, and there's going to be no gain on the play. I misspoke. It was third down. Now it is fourth down, and it's going to be more like 4th and about 18. As the Eagles have the football, 4th and 18 at the Tiger 27-yard line.
I believe we're maybe going to try a field goal here, David.
Ooh, I don't know. It is. It's going to be a field goal for the Eagles. This is going to be a bomb right
45.
here.
45-yard field goal.
It is going to be 45 yards from the spot. I tell you what, Harrell may make some rumblings if he can get this one to split the uprights. 45 yards out. Need a good snap and a good hold, and we're trying to ice the kicker. A minute and 26 seconds left to play in the game. Eagles with a 51-14 lead, and we got a timeout to ice the kicker.
No, I think the reason he called the timeout is they were fixing to run out of time. The 25-second clock or 40-second clock was about to run out, and a 5-yard penalty is not going to be able to kick it from 50 yards. So they want to make sure it's a 45-yard kick and not a 50-yard kick. And we're about out of timeouts, David. I think we've used them all on this first 5 minutes of the second half. Or I guess we're down inside 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Let's go down to Coach Sonny Vadrine with the over and under on Harrell making this field goal. What do you got, Coach?
I say he makes it. I just think he's going to make it. He's got a good leg. He's been kicking in balls on the extra point a long way. So I think he's going to make it. If it's a good snap and a good hold, he makes it.
Right.
I'm not going to say he's going to miss it. Hey,
I believe in my kickers, guys.
That's my man right there.
All right. All right.
We need that negative energy out of here.
Hey, look, I think he's going to make it too. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't alone. Harrell is going to kick this one from 45 yards. Actually, Donnie says to be specific, it's 43. Going to need a good snap, and he got one. He's got a good hold. I don't know. No! He must have said it went under, so he must have only missed it by a yard or two.
It was close.
Definitely had the accuracy, though. Just unable to missed it by maybe 2 yards. Coach, it looked like he almost had it from up here.
Yeah, it was a 43 instead of a 44-yarder. He's just a little bit short. Good accuracy right down the middle, just a little bit short on the kick. He got a little bit under the ball.
I'll tell you what, though, that's going to give him a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he did a good job kicking the ball. I think we can make 45-yard field goals. I really do.
That's it.
Especially on that turf field, you get you a good surface. I had a chance to walk on that field a few times going across and back at halftime, and I was not impressed. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you could definitely have some problems with your plant foot on that one. But Harrell with a great effort, and, boy, got to see a lot of confidence in that young man. A lot of fresh faces now in on defense for the Eagles. They lead this game 51-14. Minute and 19 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Tigers look to throw the ball. It's going to travel through his receiver's hands. And a couple of Eagles out there to make a play. But actually Polk was looking for number 15, Montrell Jackson. It's going to be incomplete. Now we got another flag on the play. We can't see it from our vantage point. But looks like it's going to be an illegal chop block again. I can at least see the penalty from here. And it is going to be a chop block against the Tigers. That's the second chop block they've got dinged with, and those are 15-yarders. That's a big penalty, and may put it down around the 10-yard line.
And, in terms of player safety, it's also a dangerous penalty, David, as you don't want to get anybody hurt with those chop blocks. And typically it's when somebody's maybe engaged and another person comes in next to him and takes their legs out from underneath them.
So you're going to be looking at first down and 20 for the Tigers. Polk is going to go under. No, we're going to go back into that formation we saw earlier, where we're going with a little version of the Notre Dame box. They're going to run that sweep. This time they're going to break through. The ball's on the ground. The Eagles are going to recover it. And it's going to give the Eagles another chance here. As a nice run that time, but unfortunately the Tigers unable to hold on to the ball. So that may be the 5th turnover, maybe 6th turnover of the night for the Ouachita Christian defense.
Yeah, the Eagles just very opportunistic tonight, and as they have been all year long. And that 4-turnover night against Sterlington wasn't a fluke. They create some turnovers on defense, and here you got the young guys creating turnovers as they've been taught well to try to strip that football, and they're doing a good job.
On the recovery that time for the Eagles, number 30, Julian Stevenson. So the Eagles, a lot of fresh faces in here again, so I'm going to try to put some points on the board. They're going to find themselves with the football, 1st down and 10 at the Tiger 21-yard line. Quarterback Landon Graves in the shotgun. Chad Strickland joins him, turns, hands this one to Strickland. He's going to get met in the backfield by a host of Sicily Island Tigers. May have made it back to the line, and, Donnie's going to give him 1 yard on the play, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 at the Tiger 23. Actually, Donnie didn't give him 1. He took 1 away. Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 11 at the Tiger 24. Graves in the shotgun. Strickland with him. Good snap from center. Turns, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland's across the 20. Runs over a Tiger defender. And he's going to pick up nice yardage on the play. A gain of 7. It's going to bring up, let's call it 2nd down and 4, or 3rd down and 4, as the 3rd quarter is going to come to an end here at Tiger Stadium. The Eagles out in front of the Sicily Island Tigers, 51-14. As we get ready for the 4th quarter of play. Would like to take a quick opportunity to recognize the sponsor of tonight's 3rd quarter, Firm Foundations Counseling, Monroe, Louisiana. If you're interested in learning more about EMDR trauma therapy, be sure to contact the folks at Firm Foundations Counseling today, 318-654-7010, or online at myfirmfoundations.com. The folks at Firm Foundations, longtime supporters of Ouachita Christian Athletics. Again, we'd like to thank the folks at Firm Foundations Counseling, the sponsor of tonight's 3rd quarter. Eagles going to find themselves with the football, 51-14. As we begin the 4th quarter. Saul, it's been a long time since I've seen the clock not run with this kind of lead, and boy, you just hate to see it because of the health and well-being of some of these athletes when these things get out of hand.
Yeah, I just don't understand it either, David, unless, I guess that, the Eagles have substituted completely, and so the threat of it really getting out of hand is not that great, given the fact that we're putting, the younger guys in there. So,
maybe a good
Coach
chance.
Sicily just wants to have a chance to play a full ball game and let his guys maybe get a chance to have a little success, as they've not had any at all so far tonight, other than on a couple of kickoff returns.
Well, Graves takes a shotgun snap and tries to go up the middle, and he gets stoned at the line of scrimmage. No gain, so now you're going to be looking at 3rd down and 5. Really tough to make out the yardage or the line marker from down here right now, but we've got a Tiger shaking up on the play. And actually, Donnie's telling me it's going to be 3rd down and 5 at the 3rd and 6 at about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like it may be a cramp that the kid from Sicily Island is having right now, as another player's come over and working on his foot a little bit, trying to stretch out what looks to be a cramp maybe in his calf. If the heat in the press box is any indication of what it is like on the field, then I can certainly understand having some cramp issues.
Well, that's one of the things, too, is you and I have the luxury from time to time of being in this press box. And poor Coach Vadrine, there was a game last year we had down at Nichols State. It was raining literally sideways in Thibodaux, Louisiana. It was poor Coach. It looked like he had ice in his mustache as he was walking around. Well, tonight, it's payback time, because you and I are up here in a lather, and I think Coach looks like he's down there just about ready to Coach, are you actually fanning yourself just a little bit down there?
Yeah, man, I'm sipping on a Mai Tai. We having fun down here. It's all good.
Coach Sonny Vadrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report. The Eagles are going to go steady in the saddle, and it looks like just about the entire defense from Sicily Island is going to join Graves in the backfield.
Unfortunately, number 20 for the Eagles, Carter Volan, is going to be guilty, I think, of moving a little bit as well.
No, they're not going to get it. He got away with it. They're going to get the Tigers for encroachment. I saw it too, Saul. I wasn't going to point it out, but you're right. But the Eagles get away with it, and they needed maybe 6. Donnie said it was closer, but now they're going to mark it off, and they are going to have a first down. It's going to be first down and goal. Guess where, Saul? First and goal at the 10. And, boy, the Eagles are going to get hit in the backfield. Big play that time from the Tiger defense, as it looked like they gave it to Strickland on the speed sweep. Just tons of penetration that time, and Strickland gets hit in the backfield for, well, let's call it a 6-yard loss.
So Eagles spending a little bit more time in the Randall's Fine Meat red zone tonight, as we've talked about earlier. The few times they've gotten, the many times I guess they've gotten in there, they've only spent one play there and pretty much have scored at will once they've gotten inside the 10-yard line.
Camping out there this drive. So we're going to be looking at second down and goal from the 16-yard line.
Going to bring in a little bit of the heavy package now, as it looks like number 73.
They better hurry because we got 4
Spurlock,
seconds left on the play clock. Now
270-pound offensive
1,
lineman is in there.
And the Eagles are going to get hit with the delay, just unable to get the play off in time. So now you're going to be looking at second and goal from the 21-yard line as they back this one up as well.
The Eagle coaches are complaining that maybe the clock wasn't reset. And,
I'm sure they'll change the call and back.
We can't see where the clock is, so the clock is blocked from our view. So, as are most things that occur within the inside the 10-yard line.
Red zone.
Yeah, right. Once they get in the red zone, we can see one side of the field, and that's about it. And they're going to wave off the flag.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, well, you know what? They didn't start the play clock, just like the coaches said. So now we got they're going to give us 5 yards back as the clock is not running. 9 minutes and 49 seconds left to play in the ball game. Eagles lead 51-14. Graves in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Gets a good snap from center, turns, hands this one to Strickland. Strickland's going to get hit in the hole. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Donnie's going to give him 1, but Donnie's pretty generous, as I think it's going to be no gain. And it's going to bring up third down and goal for the Eagles at, let's call it the 15-yard line. One of the players with his helmet off on the field, I don't think he's aware he's probably going to be trotting off here in just a second.
It looks like they got another player with a cramp over there on defense as well. And one thing we didn't really talk a lot about, Sicily Island does not have very many players, and so these guys are all going both ways and playing a lot tonight, and so you can understand some cramping issues for Sicily Island.
Well, let's go down and catch up with Coach Sonny Vadrine with the Marion State Bank sideline report. Coach, how's your cramping situation?
We're not going to cramp. We don't do that. We don't do that. And it's awful cool tonight. If you hydrate and all that, even if you play both ways, if you're doing some conditioning work and all that kind of stuff, you ought not be cramping like this. This is 4th game of the season. Somebody ought to be getting in shape by now. And if we don't get a first down or a touchdown, we're going to kick a field goal, guys.
All right. I like to hear that, Coach. I like to hear that. All right. Well, the injured Tiger is going to come out under his own power. Looks like he did have a cramp, and he's going to make his way over to the sideline. 9 minutes and 14 seconds left to play in the ball game. Clock runs. Graves in the shotgun. Third down and goal from the 15. Turns. He's going to hand this one inside to Strickland. He's going to get upended in the hole. Gain of 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 4th down, and out trots the field goal unit. Going to have to wait for Donnie to tell us how long this one will be, but it'll definitely be a lot shorter than 43 yards. But it looks like it'll be a pretty good kick.
Should be about a 31-yard field goal is what I think, David, 31 or 32.
31 yards. Harrell's going to line this one up. Left-footed kicker, number 1, Sam Harrell. Number 2, Walker Morse to hold. Need a good snap and a good hold. Got a good snap, good hold, kicks up. Oh, that's got to be good. And it is! It is! Harold's kick is good from 31 yards out. Big kick. Probably would have been good from 41 yards out. So
he
nice
tagged
leg into that one.
And Coach Virginia talked about that long, the 45-yard field goal or 44, whatever it was he tried. He kind of got underneath it and popped it up a little bit, and that one had plenty of distance right there. I think if he'd have kicked that one on the 44-yard field goal, it would have been good.
Boy, it's great to see a kicker kind of mature and take shape right in front of our eyes. That beginning of the season, he wasn't stepping into him, and he just found his rhythm and did a great job that time of getting some air under it and putting it through the uprights. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to play. Eagles lead 54-14.
And I really think from what I've seen on his field goals, I mean, he ought to be able to kick off a little bit better than he's doing as well. I think he just needs a little bit more confidence in that sense, and I think he's going to be the guy that's going to end up being the kickoff man. And of course, Holyfield, he's a defensive lineman playing kicker, and he gives it a lot of effort, but, the consistency is just not there right now with him, and I got to think that Harold's going to be the guy moving forward.
If you had to think of one defensive lineman that in the history of the school that you remember kicking, who would it be?
Mike Shepard.
There you go. I remember. That's exactly.
And
not a lot of form, just a lot of legs.
And of course,
he
used a square toe shoe, and so a lot of those shanks that you see off the side of Holyfield's toe are probably because he's using a round toe and not a square toe.
That's right. Well, Harold's going to kick this one right down the middle of the field, real low, a line drive kick, and the Tigers are going to return this one across midfield. So it'll be interesting. I wish we did have a way of tracking to see just exactly where the Tigers' starting field position has been tonight. But, well, maybe they're not going to start there because we got a penalty on that play. And I tell you what, we're getting our money's worth tonight.
Got some score updates, David. Franklin Parish leads LaSalle 49-6. Bastrop leads Richwood 13-0. Unfortunately for the Eagles, Tioga's beaten Gina 40-13, as we'd like to see them win some ball games, help us with our power ratings. Western O leads Evangel Christian 23-7. Faraday leads Rayville 50-0. Calvary Baptist leads Lincoln Prep 51-14. Oak Grove leads Delta Charter 56-8. Washington leads Washington Marion 40-12. Cedar Creek over Delhi 45-14. St. Frederick's over Tensall 44-6. West Ouachita leading Lakeside, but that's a final actually, 42-28. And that may be all I have. There's Sterlington over North Webster 35-14. That's a final. Ouachita over Union Parish in a good ball game, 21-14 in the fourth quarter.
Well, the number 7 for the Tigers is going to find a seam. That's going to be, well, that's actually Landra James. And Landre James is going to make a lot of these young Eagle defenders miss. But good angles that time, saw as it looked like James was going to run away from them all, but he's able to pick up 32 yards on the play, and the Eagles able to corral him. But I don't know if you had any more scores.
Yeah, that one last score, St. Thomas More leading Neville 35-6 in the fourth quarter.
You had told me earlier that St. Thomas More was a really good football team this season.
Yeah, very good football team.
Eagles lead this one 54-14, 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the ball game. Tigers with the ball, first down at 10, the Eagle 40-yard line. The Tigers have gone back to the box. They're going to run the toss sweep this time. And a different set of Eagle defenders in the game. So they're going to pick up a big chunk of yardage. Looks like about, they'll run him out on the far side of the field. Gain of 17 yards, and that's going to be another first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, and you talk a lot about the Notre Dame box, and maybe people may not understand exactly what that is, but it's something that Sicily Island actually perfected back in the 70s and 80s, as they were a powerhouse in the state. Different time, different era of football, and they were as good as you could get in Louisiana, and just a juggernaut. And we actually played them in the playoffs my senior year in the quarterfinals, and were able to get a win here. But back then they had things rolling, and of course lost football for a few years and just came back to playing about 4 or 5 years ago.
Ball's on the ground, scramble for it, no indication from the officials. Eagles look like they say they have it, but again, no indication so far.
sure.
It looks like the Eagles have it. Yeah, they do. Guess he had to wait for a few minutes to make sure, but they do. So the Eagles are going to take over, first down and 10. Saw that maybe is that 6 or 7 turnovers tonight?
Yeah, I've kind of lost track, David. I believe it's 6, but I could have missed one. But one interception and then either 5 fumble recoveries, I believe.
Well, it's going to be first down and 10 for this young Eagle offense. Well, they struggled the last possession against the Tigers. Really unable to get much going.
It looks like the clock is finally rolling now, as they didn't stop it with that change of possession. We're under 5 minutes now with about 4 minutes, 44 seconds to go.
Clock rolling. Graves in the shotgun. 4 receivers, part of the set. Good snap from center. He's going to turn. Hands this one off right up the middle to Strickland. He's going to pick, well, Donnie says he's going to lose a yard. Going to lose 2, so it's going to bring up second down and 12 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 30-yard line. Clock continues to run. 4 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in the game. Eagles lead 54-14. This young Eagle offense waiting for the play call to come in. Graves lines up in the shotgun, sends 2 receivers wide to the right, 1 to the left. Strickland joins him in the backfield. Going to pull this one down, tries to run it himself, and does. Now he's got a small seam. He hits up field. Going to pick up about, let's call it 3 yards on the play, and it's going to bring up third down and 7 for the Eagles at their own 36-yard line. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Clock continues to run. Eagles lead 54-14. Graves brings the Eagles to the line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Eagles traveling from left to right on your radio. Graves is going to turn. He hands this one off to number 34 for the Eagles. That's actually Jack Skipper. And Skipper's going to pick up 3 yards on the play, but going to be short of the first down. Going to bring up fourth down and, well, let's call it 4 for the Eagles. Looks like Coach Fitzhugh may go for this one.
I think he's going to punt it, David. Looks like Graves is backing up in his punt position, and they're going to go ahead and punt it.
Definitely sending the punting unit on. As Saul alluded to, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the ball game. Graves is going to punt this one, and Saul, it's probably a good idea to let him get another punt under his belt. Had a huge punt last time that covered 50 yards.
And just watch how quick he gets this punt off here, David.
Graves stands at his 25-yard line. High snap, 1 step, it's gone. Wow, nice punt. Probably not his best effort so far tonight, Saul, but as you alluded to, 1 step and it's gone.
Yeah, and Sicily out that time with an unblocked defender that came through, and Graves, you saw how quick he gets it off that time as the snap was very high. He jumped up and made the play, and then 1 step and that ball's gone, and so the defender had no chance to block it. And you're right, it wasn't his best punt, but if he'd have taken any more time, that thing's blocked and going back the other way.
Nice job that time. You alluded to it early, too, about his athleticism. Again, a really athletic play to have to go up and get a really, really high snap. Would have been a challenge for some folks to handle, but he pulls it in and gets rid of the football. Clock continues to run. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play in the football game. Sicily Island with the ball, first and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Play clock expired, but the refs kind of let it go. You got to keep this one on the ground. And that's actually going to be number 22 for the Tigers, Zarian Dunbar. Dunbar is going to run out of bounds after gain of 4 yards.
Boy, and a really good play that time by Porter Ratliff, who was playing free safety. He just took a great angle as Sicily Island had something, and we know how much speed they have, and they ran that the sweep, and he turned it upfield, and Ratliff just runs that alley from free safety. He takes a great angle, and able to make a nice open field tackle and stop what looked like could be a possible touchdown into only a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Tigers in the box. Deep snap is actually going to go right to the tailback. On the carry that time for the Tigers is number 3, Jamonte Jordan. Gain of 9 yards on the play, and that's going to be enough for a Tiger first down. Clock continues to run.
So they're going to have a timeout from Sicily Island. They're going to try to maybe get some points here to finish this ball game off.
All right, the Tigers take a timeout. We'll take a quick one with them. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf. Trying to get a drive here to put some points on the board to close it out. A lot of young Eagles in here. The Tigers look to throw a little halfback pass, and it's going to be incomplete. It's going to stop the clock. Well, actually, it's going to keep the clock running with 20 seconds left to play in the game. 16 seconds left to play. Clock going to wind down. If they don't stop it, Saul, that's going to be the last play of the football game, and I think it is. 6, 5, 4, 3, and that is going to bring it into this football game as the Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to win this one 54-14. And boy, you got to tip your hat to the Sicily Island guys. Saw they were lining up trying to get one more play off, just trying to put something on the board, trailing this game 54-14.
Yeah, you know, they fought to the end. It was a tough game for them. They had a little bit of life with a couple of kickoff returns. That's all there was for them tonight, is they just never could get anything going offensively. It's just a smothering defensive performance by the OCS Eagles tonight.
Well, at the end of the fourth quarter, I want to thank the folks at Eagle Point Boat and RV Storage. Fourth quarter tonight was brought to you by the folks at Eagle Point Boat and RV Storage. Eagle Point Boat and RV Storage, located on Lake Darbone in Farmerville, is a proud supporter of Ouachita Christian Eagle football. Long time proud supporter of the Eagles. We're going to take a quick break from here at Sicily Island. I want to invite you to come back and join us for our final thoughts on tonight's game. You're listening to Ouachita Christian Eagle football on 92.3 The Wolf.